What's going on, everybody? Hope you had a good morning. It's your boy Trigger Mike on the Trigger Mike Show. Please welcome to the Lapeef Network. Thank you for tuning in today on this fine Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. It is the last day. It's not a leap year. Yeah. It is the last day of February. You made it through. Short month. Hope you didn't spend too much money over the weekend because rent and mortgage is due tomorrow for that ass. I hope you didn't get those bottomless mimosas because those prices went up. All right. Welcome. Again, welcome everybody to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network, the best network on YouTube, talking about all the stuff people don't really want to talk about, but we get down to it here. We have the real conversation, not to trigger you, but to teach you. All right. So my name is a double entendre. If you actually know what it means, let me know. Let me know you know who I am and how I get down in these streets and why they call me Trigger Mike. All right. I don't trigger people. I'll leave it there. All right. But I'd like to give a greetings and thanks to everyone. What I want you to do right now, those of you who are notoriously lazy and just be coming up in here, soaking up all this free content and don't show your support to the people you like to watch, go ahead and hit that like button right now. Show us some love, show us some support. Hit that like for that YouTube algorithm, letting people know this is what you're watching. So Instagram and YouTube networks can push this out to people who are watching. So YouTube can push this out to other people you are watching. If you are new, if this is your first time watching this program, I want you to hit that like button and the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Lapeef Network. This is the best network on YouTube. Content coming out, clips coming out every single day for your consumption. Good topics that you want to know about, that you want to listen to, are being put out on this network. This network is now an engine giving you top tier content every single day. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that share button. All right, hit that share button as well. Appreciate that. And we appreciate the support. We always love support in the form of monetary contributions. So if you can send a super chat and get in the discussion with us, we would really appreciate that. And that is our most favorite. It's my favorite form of support. But if you can't do that, I got something else you can do. All right. There is more than one way to show support on the Lapeef Network and on the Trigger Mike Show. I want you to share this content out to your Facebook news feed, your Instagram chat, your WhatsApp chat, your group me groups. Share this content out and let people know this is either what's getting you through your workday. If you're a stay-at-home mom and you're homeschooling, letting them know you put your earbuds in. The kids can't listen to this. All right. And even if you're at work, put those earbuds in. I don't want to get you fired. I don't have liability insurance for you. I got it for me. I don't got liability insurance for you. All right. So share this out to people. Let them know this is what you're watching and getting you through your workday. Let's see who I got in the chat. Oh, we got a lot of people here today. We up early. People want to know. This is always one of those topics where every time I put some ratchetness out there, y'all come out. My man Dolomite in the building. What's up? Daryl Brown, what's going on? Neo Moses, what's up, my guy? Jay Everything, what's going on? Miss Jill, how you doing? Jeffrey Woodland, what's going on? Hack, what's going on? Honest Citizen, my man, what's up? What's up? Wife School, come on up and chat with me on this topic. If you could, good afternoon to you. T. Shaw, what's up? My man AP, what's going on? Jeffrey Woodland in the building. Doug J, what's up? Buck Rogers, what's up? Cameron, we had a good discussion last night. We like that young lady. Hope she gets everything she wants out of life. Woo! Statistics say after 5 bodies, a woman has. We don't listen, Cameron. Uh, my name is Trigger Mike, like I said, but I don't want to trigger people. You will destroy a lot of people's dreams with statistics like that. Okay, we know what they are, but you will destroy a lot of hopes and dreams before I even get the monologue off. If you post some stuff like that, they know, they just don't want to accept it. All right. It applies to men. However, there's a spiritual connection to it. Women should value their box. It apply. Okay, well, we need to talk about that. Sherwin Thomas, what's going on? Mr. Rich, what's up? What's up? Mr. C, Mr. TKO, how you doing? Dante Harris, what's going on? Kelly's in the building. All right. Who else we got? All right, Mr. He said, what's up? Everybody's here to get in on this topic today. So, our ratchet topic of the week. Sometimes we can get a little ratchet. I want to ask the question straight up. I don't know if I type this into YouTube, I don't get videos where people want to dialogue on this in this particular way, like we do on this show. What's the problem? What is the problem? Women like the Trigger Mike show too. Y'all know people get on these panels. We want to talk to y'all. We want to have the real conversation. We're not even just here trying to shame people. Y'all know how we get down. This your brother right here. This is your brother. Holla at me. I'm your brother. We want everything you want for yourself, we want for you too. Straight up. Everything you want for yourself, we want for you too. We just want to be realistic and tell you how you're supposed to get it. All these guys that come up here, Israel, CEO, Mr. Rich, King Spark, everybody that come up here just want to talk sense to you. Because if you ask every single man individually what they want for you, they want to see you married. They want to see you with that dude that you put all that time and energy into. They want to see you have his children. And we want to see you stay down with that man for life. So yes, we talk about ratchet stuff, but there is a method behind this madness. I promise there is. You don't got to be bashful to come on the Trigger Mike show and talk about if body count really matters. Okay? So, does body count really matter? What do you think? Yes or no? Does body count really matter? So, I'm not going to beat a dead horse on this, but it is an important topic to cover in a variety of ways and for a variety of reasons. As we've previously said, men want women with virtue. We want chaste women. We want your chastity to be intact, or in the Western world, as intact as it could be. If you're a man that understands that you're not getting a virgin out here, in the Western world, we got to make new definitions. We got to make new definitions. Um, any woman that's a virgin is getting snatched up, that keeps herself up, is getting snatched up with immediate effect. Let a dude find out after all this debauchery going on here that we got good looking virgins. But no, we want a woman whose virtue is as intact as it could be. All right. We want these women as our prospective wives. For the men that aren't married, I'm talking to you. Ladies who aren't married and want marriage, I'm talking to you. Men want virtuous women as their prospective wives. It's that simple. Why is this particular topic important to that narrative? Many of y'all know why. You've just put off the conversation for long enough. You try to make different rules and say it doesn't matter and take out shame and all of this stuff, but back to square one we go, because you cannot change the way men think. Ladies, for the better part of, let's say, 4 decades, y'all have been in the media trying to change the way men think and what men want. Did you not forget who the hell we were? We are men. We choose who gets married. Y'all ain't changed shit around here. We want what we want. Let me tell you, I watched a bunch of videos on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. I've told you before about these young dudes. I think they're in Georgia, maybe some of them in California. These young dudes go on the streets and just converse with women. They just talk. They ask these women questions. This is not staged. I'm telling you to the best of my ability. It's not staged. They're just asking women things. The same way Kevin Samuels would ask women questions. Some women even come over to these men. These young dudes were asking women their body count. All right? Even some of these women were even with their men. A few of these couples were newly married. Almost every single time, the woman had a higher body count than the man. Almost every single time. I went back and watched all of these videos over, by the way. I'm not capping. The woman had a higher body count. Her body count outnumbered the male's body count. Those couples that I told you were newly married, and one was even in the outfit coming from the chapel. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Those of y'all who've seen these videos of these young black dudes just in the street asking people questions. She said, yeah, we know each other's body count. She's drunk. She's just running off at the mouth. He said his body count. She said her body count. They zoomed in on his face. What do you think his face was? Yuck. I didn't know that. You lied to me. You lied to me. We don't like that. Ladies, the fact that a majority of women, of Western women in the dating market, have higher body counts than the men in the dating market is disgusting. Men, if you believe, not that we're hating on anybody, but if you think just in your heart of hearts that women that want to be wives, that think they're valuable and want to be respected by men in the dating arena, if you think it's disgusting that they have higher body counts than men, put a 1 in the chat. Let them know how you feel. I think it's disgusting. Y'all can disagree with me. It doesn't matter to me. I think it's disgusting. What makes it disgusting is that modern women gloat and brag about having extremely high body counts. If you're going to be a hoe, keep it to yourself. Modern women gloat and brag about having extremely high body counts. Who the hell do y'all think y'all are? Everything that's happening in modern society lets me know women don't know men at all. Because that woman that's bragging is going to turn 35 and start blaming men for not taking her serious. We don't want that. You're a known commodity in these streets. My boy even got a video of you. Ladies, men talk too, as I keep trying to let y'all know. Stop bragging about your sexual escapades. It's not attractive. What does this behavior ultimately say to men, to us? Because let me make one thing clear. The amount of men that you can get to enter inside of you is not indicative of your actual value as a woman. In fact, it's not even indicative of your perceived value as a woman. Men will hit, period. You are not a valuable woman simply because you got a lot of dudes to sleep with you, even if they were high value men. Men, I know you got to agree with that. Because when we're talking, the woman we value is the woman we all want but can't hit. Ladies, y'all got it backwards. You hit that too, dog? Oh, you hit that? It was crazy, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, I'm trying to marry her. No, you trying to marry? No, I'm trying to marry her. We don't do that. Men want the prize that is not easily acquired. It's simple. Simple psychology. What this behavior tells us, ladies, it ultimately tells us as a man starts to mature, if you're wondering why, even a guy who actually fell in love with you but knew you were promiscuous, if you're wondering why he's not going to marry you, it's because as he matured, he realizes you don't value yourself. You don't value yourself. We need to categorize the issues our women are suffering from. We need to categorize this correctly. All right, because I don't want to come down on women. Not totally. I don't want to come down on y'all, but we have a self worth crisis in Western society. Ladies only. If you're willing to be honest with the chat today and let everybody know that you have observed from your sisters, your mother, your friends, your children, and daughters in general, just women, if you're willing to acknowledge that we have a self worth crisis with the women in modern society, put a W. Put a W in the chat. We have a self worth crisis. Women are damaging themselves and calling it empowerment. So they can ignore the fact that they're damaging themselves. Your brother's going to tell it like it is. I'm going to tell it straight up. You're damaging yourself. This is why they renamed it empowerment, so you could feel good about damaging yourself. We have a self-worth crisis in Western society. When we talk about what men want versus what women want, men do not want a sexually experienced woman, no matter how he says it. When this man matures, he is going to learn whether you value yourself or not. A man would much rather prefer to make you his sexual equal than for you to already be his sexual equal. He can enjoy it for a time. He can enjoy all those tricks you learned. But you better be modest enough to keep it to yourself where you learn them shits from. A lot of y'all ladies are sexually arrogant. And you think the way to impress a man is to match him sexually. Let him know about all your escapades out here. That's not sexy. A lot of y'all ain't getting married because he finally grew up and in his head, he realized you weren't like his homeboy's wife. You weren't like his cousin's wife. These women just don't talk like you. They're not arrogant like you. They have a sense of humility. They at least want to make me think. They want to make their husbands think they're virtuous. At least they're putting on a good show. You just out here telling everybody how you orgasmed 3 years ago and ain't had one since. Like that shit is cute or something. It's not cute. I ain't had an orgasm in 3 years. Ooh, my ex-boyfriend had such a big. Some of y'all are arrogant. I keep telling y'all that. We don't like it. On the flip side, women actually want a sexually experienced man. Ladies, I think let me take a guess here. Because every time I get in these spaces and I talk about how the statistics, even new studies that just came out last week, said women want a sexually experienced man. But I know what you don't want. I told you we have a worth crisis. We want women to be valuable. We want you to be something that's hard to attain. We want that. I found in my notes and studies, and even using my discernment to write you this lecture today, women actually kind of want the same thing, just in a different way. I don't think women want community D. to marry. Not exactly, anyway. They want a man that can get women, but every woman doesn't have access to that man. That is a valuable man. Valuable men have options, and they won't just hit anything because they have so many options. They get to pick and choose the best option. That's the man that women want. You definitely want a man who's sexually experienced. You definitely want a man who's out here in these streets, or at least he's very present. People know him, people like him. Everybody wants to be him, but every woman can't get him. That's the man the women want. Why can't we expect the same thing? Can somebody answer me that question? I want my homeboys to want you. I want my homeboys to tell me that you're a good catch. I even want my homeboys to say, you better not screw that up, because I might be in her DMs, bro. You better not screw that up. I want my homeboys to want you, but can't get you. That is the caveat. That is the ta-da moment. We want the women that other men want, but can't get. Both sides equally want the same thing. I don't know why women would ever think that a man wants their sexual equal. I got 100 bodies. Oh, for real, for real? Yeah, I got about 98. We about the same. Like it's cute. It's not cute. Somebody messed with y'all heads. Let's get into some other reasons why body count does matter. Listen, ladies, there are some things when I talk about on this show, I don't even have to research. This can all be anecdotal just from discussions and dialogue with other men and women. And I'm going to tell you right now, and it's funny because Cameron even said it in some of the first few comments. A woman with 5 or less bodies behaves drastically different than a woman with 50 plus bodies. When y'all say that we can't tell how many bodies you have, I don't think you're very astute in the fact that behavior can tell us a whole lot. Your behavior, watching you over a period of time, the subjects you like to bring up, if you're sensitive to touch or not, if you're too easily willing to engage with me in intimate spaces, if you want to come over to the crib too quick, if you have no problem jumping in my bed and under my sheets and taking off your pants, and this is our first date. A woman with 5 or less bodies behaves drastically different than a woman with 50 plus. Body count does matter. Not to mention the soul ties, mental connections, emotional connections that you make with men that won't reciprocate your energy. That stuff is real. Your DNA, a man's DNA, is in his ejaculate. Do you think that you can get someone's mitochondrial, autosomal DNA inside of your body, touching your mucous membranes, and that's not going to transfer something to you? Are you crazy? That is someone's entire ancestral makeup climbing the walls of your intimate parts, your mucous membranes. You have 100 men who have 100 ancestors, who then have 100 ancestors climbing up your walls, and you think that's not going to affect you. That's what people mean when they say soul ties. Girl, you might as well have 10,000 kids. You might as well have 10,000 personalities. Because all them men you let inside you, then let something off, then left a history inside you. Their ancestry.com inside your ass. If you want to know people's ancestry, go pull a girl off the street and just swab. It's going to say that girl from every damn place on earth. All right, that was a little much. My bad. Every time I say stuff, I visualize it. That was disgusting. All right, my bad. Listen, women, you are naturally oxytocin-driven individuals. This means that you're supposed to form a bond with one man. I'm going to leave the finger up like Doctor Strange. Who could tell me what movie this was? Doctor Strange. Damn, my finger fat as shit. One. Ladies, one. One. What movie was that? One. You are supposed to form a bond with one man. You release the same hormone in your breast milk when you give birth to bond with your child. That is nature's way of telling you during a sexual experience, especially most intense, the first few times you have sex, you are supposed to use that oxytocin release as a form of bonding with that man. One man, one band, one sound. It ain't about you, Devin. They don't hear you. They hear the band. One band. And in this case, on this context, one man. You are supposed to bond with one man. Men, let me explain this to you in this context. Men, mods, we got somebody using crazy language. Please moderate the hell out of that person, please, and time them out for that comment. Thank you. Men are naturally dopamine-driven individuals. I looked into this, and when I was reading, I decided to put something in there that I feel like was pretty profound. I feel like, anyway. We love a release. That's why men make weird sounds when we climax. We can do that every single time we have intercourse. Every single time we release that dopamine. We are dopamine-driven individuals. Here's what's important to note. Women are chemically wired to form a bond, but men have to make a conscious choice to bond with you. What kind of woman do you think a man wants to make a conscious choice to bond with? Do you think he's going to choose the woman who has multiple bonds with other men, or the woman who actually wants and he can feel a connection and bond with her? We make a conscious bond with the woman. You are chemically induced to bond with a man, or at least the first few men. So if we make a conscious choice to bond with you, what type of woman do you think we want? Because that release, and I take this from Mr. Lee. Every vagina is designed to make you come. You make a conscious choice to bond with a woman. So, ladies, what kind of woman do you think we want? Ladies that are out here damaging yourself, and then you wonder why you try and try and try and try to bond with him, and it's not working. So you discard him and try to get another one, and you try and try and try, and you can't bond with him either. What do you think Where do you think that comes from? When was that first feeling of bonding most intense? Had you following around a dude like a puppy dog? It's likely not him. If that's your scenario, it's you. Unfortunately. Let me drop this link so y'all can come up and chat with your boy. I got questions. Give me 1 second. Got a new keyboard here. I know y'all want to get in on this. I got questions. Come on up and chat with Trigger Mike today. Go back to my monologue. All right.
Hello.
Oh, Kelly.
Can you hear me?
I ain't ready to chat. I'm about to remove you.
Oh, I thought you were ready. You said drop the link.
Right,
I have so much to say. Bring
Give
me up
me
when
a
you're
moment.
ready.
Oh my! I was like, what the? Give
Bring
me
me
a
up when
moment.
you're
I'm gonna bring
ready. I
you
have
up.
so much to say.
All right, I'm gonna bring you back up. And it's
Okay.
woo, scared the shot of me. Like, and then it's a beard. I'm like, who is this?
Right. I'm sorry. I'm in my
you
masculine
good.
energy.
You good, sis.
All right.
You good. All right. Iceberg Slim wrote a book. It's called Pimp. Some of y'all may have read it growing up. I don't know why you read it so young, but anyway. Life is kind of strange like that, I believe. That you get most of your life lessons from your own discernment. From your own discernment of other people's experiences. Because somebody is going to say, can you make an accurate depiction about women from a pimp, from a story about a pimp? Hell yeah, you can. Because even though we frown upon pimps and hoes, a pimp can arguably give you a doctorate level dissertation on female psychology and feminine nature. If you agree with that, put a 1 in the chat. I will listen to a pimp tell me about female psychology and feminine nature before I listen to a clinical professional. They only know what they read out of a book. A pimp do this like it's homework. He does this for lunch. Iceberg Slim said, there are only so many times a woman can get penetrated before she's mentally screwed up. I'm paraphrasing and summarizing. But if you believe there are only so many times a woman can get penetrated before she's mentally screwed up, put another 1 in the chat. Body count does matter. Here are my thoughts and considerations on this. I'm not trying to be pessimistic, so please hear me out. It is too late to reach millennial women with this message. Sorry. It is almost too late to reach Gen Z or the Zoomers with this message. If your child was born after 2010, which I believe is called Gen Alpha, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. We have some work to do. I got a Gen Alpha daughter, okay? It starts with our girls. For those of you people that like men and women, especially you men, let me educate you on something. We talk about de-discipline far too much. Every time you say the word de-discipline, you give another win for the women, and they'll spend another year making excuses about why they need to participate in sexual liberation. Stop talking about de-discipline. Start talking about P-discipline. P-discipline is the best option. P-discipline is what historically worked. Throughout time, they have exercised P-discipline. It is your best option. Let me tell you why. Men cannot hit if legs aren't open. Women want marriage. Fathers want to pass their daughters off to capable husbands. If you keep your legs closed, you keep your chastity, you keep your virtue. Therefore, that capable husband can find you and desire you. Everybody wins. Stop talking to me about de-discipline. It is a pointless conversation. If legs are open, 8 out of 10 men are going to smash. Stop talking to me about de-discipline. Y'all got the game messed up. Thinking that you can correct the actions of men and enable the freedom of women. Are you crazy? Throughout history, the only thing that has worked is P discipline. If you want to get everybody in line, if you want these dudes to start getting down on one knee, if you want the community to be reformed and reunified, close some legs to everybody. Ain't nobody getting none. Iceberg Slim Hoes gonna have to be working overtime. Close them legs and watch how fast these men tighten up. And I've been thinking about you a lot, and I think we should get married, as soon as possible because these dudes will. Boy, K Jewelers will run out of rings. Jared will run out of rings. They can't make them diamonds fast enough. They'll run out of them damn rings. I'm investing in the wedding industry as soon as y'all legs close. In the diamond, I'm investing in all diamonds as soon as y'all legs close. Men will smash open legs, period. My last thing before I bring my brothers up and my sister Kelly, scared the hell out of me. Ladies, the reason I say this is not to aggravate you and not hold men accountable, so to speak. The reason I say this ultimately is because I'm trying to give you some realism. Y'all are talking idealism all the time, and that's not even what's ideal. A man cannot respect you more than you respect yourself. If you want to know the advice I'm going to give my own daughter, here it is. Don't come to me talking about how a man broke your heart. Don't come to me talking about how you pregnant and he won't pick up the phone. He cannot respect you more than you respect yourself. I'm telling you to respect yourself. Don't tell me about what some man did that you gave access to your body. A man cannot respect you more than you respect yourself. Your virtue and your chastity is your ticket. How about you keep it? Bring up my people. What's going on, y'all?
Year, what's going on, Mike?
We're going to let Kelly. Kelly, you there?
Shh, go downstairs. I gotta talk.
All right. You ready?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, they said I was so loud, so let me turn the volume down.
No, I think you good now.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What you got
Okay.
on it? Give me your
So
thoughts.
I just wanted to speak on one thing that you said that I found profound and a lot of people aren't talking about. I know I've mentioned it here as far as having sex with multiple people and making a covenant with your spouse. You mentioned you're supposed to form a bond, the oxytocin that's released, you're supposed to form a bond with one person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my father used to always preach about marriage is a covenant, and you always have a covenant when there's a shedding of blood, and that's the purpose of the hymen. So that covenant is supposed to be made with your husband. You're supposed to have sex with that one man for the rest of your life. And that's why it's so hard to get over your first, because you've already made a covenant with that man. If it wasn't your husband, you always end up going back to your first. You can't ever get over your first because you've already formed that bond with that person that you were supposed to marry. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Does it make sense? What? There's nothing more that makes sense on this topic than that. Come on. Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's all I wanted to say.
I think a lot of just to put it this way, that's very disheartening. So here's the funny part about it. Remember I told a story, I don't know if you were listening yesterday, about how a woman left her husband and they had a lot of kids. It was shared with me that he was her first. And Basically, she lost her mind and just decided, look, I want to ride some different D. Well, that went on for a few years. They divorced or whatever. And right around the time that he's about to get remarried, guess what she start doing? Start pining like, we can fix this. We can. He's like, sorry, no, no. You decided to give away our bond because for all we knew, he didn't do anything wrong, right? He wanted to keep his family together for all his kids, but she won't having it. But now look, she still wants her first. It's crazy. All right, Mr. Rich. Good morning to you, sir. What you got on the topic? Oh, you we can't hear you. Nah. All right, yeah, yeah. Just work on it. King Spark, we'll get to you. We'll come back to you, Mr. Rich. What's going on this
Yo,
morning, bro?
what's going on, brother? Man, I'm listening to you. You spot on with everything, man. But I guess from a more broader perspective, it's like feminism is killing all of this because there ain't no more man, ain't no more women. Even on the YouTube talking points, when we're talking, every time we're trying to address women, the first thing they say is, "But what about the men?" So they don't want it to be separate between how a woman should move to how a man should move. They want to move just like men.
Yeah.
So if they moving just like men and they taking, that crazy man wrote that book talking about act like a lady, think like a man.
Hmm.
Well, if you're thinking like a man, guess what? You're gonna act like a man too. You can't separate those. How you think is how you gonna move, right? So I mean, just from that perspective, it's like it's all a moot point if we don't first agree to separate men from women.
So, King Spark, it takes a while because you're right. It takes a while, but it's gonna happen. Here's why. Here's why. It's gonna happen because they're slowly changing their argument. They cannot combat common sense, bro. So they slowly changing their argument because there's one part you left out. They want to behave just like men without the consequences. Those consequences are coming whether they like it or not. What they wanted to do was open their legs and make themselves available to any man that they wanted to. And at the end of that, still be as desirable as a virgin to a man. Is
Right.
that possible? Yes or no?
No, it's not possible.
So those consequences, whether they like it or not, are coming. That's the part where it's like, oh, well, you're gonna see how this game works. We are not the same. It does not work the same as a man. So a man can be as desirable. Look, I said it yesterday. A man can have 9 divorces, and some woman's still gonna marry him. Women are literally going to come to a brick wall when they hit that wall and realize that they damaged themselves and made themselves an ineligible candidate to most men. To the men, in fact, let me put it to this way: to the man they want, they're going to be ineligible when they were out here behaving like a man. What do you?
It's absolutely true, man. It's absolutely true. They just it's like women like they only like double standards or they're only against a double standard when they're not benefited, right? And I've said it before, right? All of this stuff, everybody's equal to the check come. Every time the check come, then they want chivalry back. And you supposed to be the man. And you supposed to take care of things like a man. But then when you tell them, well, I'm a man and that's how I move, they say, oh no, 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 no. That's unfair. We want to move like y'all. So I'm just saying if that's what y'all want to do, make it across the board, which they not, so then get back in your lane and move accordingly.
Indeed, indeed. I can't argue with that. That's facts. Mr. Rich, let me see if the.
I can argue with it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I do believe feminism has ruined it for the good girls. So if you have women that want to be sexually liberated and be open with their sexual experiences, that's one thing. But it's also making it available to men more prevalently. So, if you have a good girl that wants to get married, she wants to meet a good guy, she wants to have a family, but she's holding out because that's what she was raised to do, why would he wait for that when he can just go right next door to the girl who's giving it up for 25 cents on the dollar?
Well, it depends on what his motive is. If he's looking for something long term, then he would wait for that. But if he's just looking to get his rocks off, then he gonna go for the 25 cents.
Right. So, well, why would good girls who were raised, let's say in the church, raised to be good women, wives, why would they start having sex? What would push them to that?
What will push them to start having sex?
Yeah, if the
You mean
man that
like
they
outside of a
want,
relationship?
if the man that they want wants to have sex, but they're not giving it up, and the guy doesn't want to wait or hold out for the good girl, he's just gonna go hit the easy girl. What did that in turn make women do? Oh, if I want a guy to stay, I have to give it up because they're going to the girls who are giving it up.
That's true, but then you still have to put some onus on the woman to say
I
what
can
type of
see
guy
like
you giving
I
it
was
up
raised
to.
in a Christian family, and I have multiple sisters, and a couple of them are still virgins, and they're finding it hard to date because guys are like, oh wait, I'm not gonna get any. Well, I'm just gonna go to Susan here because she's giving it up today, tonight, tomorrow. I have to wait until I marry you. It's almost unheard of these days.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I'll say this
True.
because nah, I'll say this. I'll say this. That is the reality for so I don't want to make the assumption that women are going after men that are good candidates for like husbands. I think women get that response from some of the men they want using their superficial tendencies. If you ask, if we, okay, let's ask the chat. Men, if you are 100% today saying, I'm ready for marriage, would you prefer a virgin if you could get one? Let me know. Yes or no. Would you prefer a virgin if you could get one?
Every man would. Like,
Every man would. So I think where that message kind of gets misconstrued is that women are going after the kind of man they want, either to fix or for superficial reasons, and saying, "Oh, well, he wants to have sex with me. He's putting pressure on me." Nah, you know what I'm
there has
saying?
to be a culture
Go to a
change.
virtuous man. Go to a man that wants to preserve you. He gonna slap that ring on there in like 5 months so he can get them guts. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying it sounds good, but I personally know I have one sister who waited until she was married, and she's only ever been with her husband. And I have one sister who's still a virgin waiting for marriage. And it's the guys, like the guys don't want to raise the bar. They don't want to step up to the standard that she holds. And it's not bad guys. They're good guys. They're guys in the church. But women in church are having sex too. Why?
What? Why they don't want to? Well, they're just not good enough for her. So here's the funny thing about it: men will only do what you require. This is not an exercise where a woman has to cave to a man. A woman, in fact, y'all are the selective ones. Are you not? You could be like, well, you don't fit my standards. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So this is the game. Um, we are the hunters. It's literally our purpose to try to get between your legs. Our purpose, our biological purpose. The the more you don't let us, the more you play goalie. It just makes you more valuable. So she's not losing anything.
Except for time, because she's getting older. And then it's going to look like, wait a minute, you haven't been married? I wonder what's wrong with you. Nothing. The guys these days, they don't uphold the same standards as the men of old. And I know you guys always talk about, don't talk about men and dick discipline. If men had dick discipline, how would women be whores? Where would the babies come from?
So what you just did there was make the woman a robot that lays on her back at a man's behest.
No, I want both sexes to be accountable. It takes a man and a woman to get together, and then a baby is formed. It takes a man, it takes a penis and a vagina. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but it takes these two things to tango. both people should be held responsible. A woman should not open her legs, and a man shouldn't whip out his pee-pee. He should keep his pickle in his pocket.
Okay,
But
so
it's
we're
okay
not gonna
for
call a
men.
grown man's appendage a PP on this show.
I don't know what I'm allowed
Take
to
that
tell you,
back.
so I'm sorry.
Take that back.
Hey Kelly,
All
can
right,
I ask you a
let's get
question?
Auntie J in
I just
here.
got a quick question, real quick. Just one
Yeah.
quick question, Mike. Kelly, are these women that you talk about that are still virgins? Are they leading with the fact that they're virgins or no sex is gonna happen?
Well, one of my sisters is not because she doesn't want to be targeted. That's like a thing for guys. Like, oh, I want to bang a virgin, and they might try to target. So she doesn't even lead with that. But if a guy's very interested and he wants to see, because she doesn't date, she courts. So a guy has to be involved with the family. She has to meet their family. Like it's like old school with her. She used to teach courtship. She hasn't kissed a guy ever. Like she's very virtuous. So yeah, guys are like, if they want to go on a date with her, if they want to meet her family, she's like, well, just so you're aware, nothing is going to go down if you to come visit me because this is my standard. And usually
Yeah,
guys fall back, and that's
yeah, that's gonna kill it every time. So what I would suggest is that in that situation, you need to hold that part out until it's actually relevant, right? Until you
right.
actually
So I'm
get a
talking
little
like
bit
she'll meet a guy and they'll talk for like 6 months on the phone, and when he wants to spend time with her, because she doesn't just go on dates.
right. I would say that that's too long though. 6 months on the phone is way too long.
How old are
I
they?
mean, you gotta get out there. Y'all gotta meet each other. Y'all have
Yeah.
to see if once somebody smell bad or somebody don't. You gotta see if y'all have some type of chemistry. You gotta
Yes.
get that out, kind of,
King
kind
Sparks.
of in
Yeah,
public, well lit
but even look
area.
at the chat right now. She's a time waster. She won't kiss. That's strange. But that is the standard that she upholds. But you guys want a good girl, but you don't want a good girl. Like,
Well,
make up your
We
mind.
want a good
we
girl.
was kissing
No,
in seventh
we
grade
want a
though,
good girl.
Kelly.
See, the part is that I can't take accountability off women because I tried to tell y'all from the man's side. I said men are notorious for this. Give us time to waste. We will waste your time. We will waste your time. The traditional way of doing it is that I think women think they can beat a game, right? They're playing on hard. You're playing a video game on hard and you think you can beat it, but it's an inlet. But men are the ones with the cheat code, right? So if the only girl we seem to value is the girl that rations her time out to us, right? It's essentially her saying, these are my standards, these are my values. The only person I've ever thought about seeing and wanting to plan for, and how am I going to approach this woman with care so I can nurture this relationship I'm trying to create, is the woman that rationed her time off to me, right? Talking on the phone for 6 months. I'm sorry, I'm wasting your time. Like, yeah, you probably got good advice. I'm wasting that time. I'm wasting that time.
Listen though, but the point is, right? The man has more time to waste than the woman, right?
Uh-huh.
If she's on the phone for 6 months and you keep coming back, maybe you're starting to, get some feelings for her. Maybe she's measuring you that way. Because I mean, I would imagine if a guy's a regular man of the world, he might be courting her, but he's probably knocking somebody else out on the side.
Yep.
I mean, you ain't gonna just, okay, listen, you playing that the way you want to play it. I like you, but you know what? I got to get my shit off. But I'm gonna go with somebody else. I'm not gonna tell you about it.
For six
If we get
months?
if we get serious, then I'll stop that other stuff.
Yep.
While you go do your thing. I mean, that's what most guys are gonna do.
Yep.
So
I
do
think.
virtuous men exist anymore?
No, that
Virtuous.
guy ain't virtuous.
So,
You're just
so,
talking.
so
Wait a minute.
that's not. So hold on. That's not even the point. The women don't want these men. You don't want these men. It's no
It
point in
doesn't make the
talking
guy
about
less
the
virtuous
virtuous
either.
man. Y'all
It
don't
doesn't.
want those men. Y'all literally want the dude that other women
No,
were
but that's not
talking
the
to.
point I'm making, Mike.
No, go ahead.
The guy's not less virtuous, right? The woman got a program. She got a game plan, right? And he might have a game plan too. His game plan is while she's vetting me, she's going to probably tell me that she's religious. She's probably going to tell me she's saving herself. You know what? I might actually even like her. And listen, I'll have the option to say, okay, you know what? I'll play along and maybe I'll stop exercising my options with other women, and then I can say, well, you know what? Maybe I'm getting closer to her too. So, but it doesn't make the guy less virtuous. That's just sign language that a woman will throw out at you, because there's no commitment on either side, right? So, you just play the game. I'm not saying you go slut yourself out, but it's got to be a point where you're going to turn off those options, and who knows where that point is going to be different for every man. That's it. But I'm not going to shame the dude for wanting to get his rocks off. Maybe that's the shit that gives him the clarity he needs for the woman who's putting him on hold.
And what happened to the?
I'm gonna shame him.
What happened?
You
What
won't
happened to
know.
the? What happened to the
part.
bases?
You won't know.
What happened to the bases? I thought we used to go first base, second base, third base, home run. Like I thought we supposed like, and I'm talking to you, Kelly. I'm saying like, I understand maybe you don't want to go all the way, or that woman may not want to go all the way, right? But you gotta have, the regular normal. You kiss somebody for the first time. That don't mean you have sex with them because we was kissing in the 7th grade,
Yeah, but what does
right?
kissing usually lead to?
Build up.
There's a
Well,
gateway.
Kissing is like a gateway
that's
drug.
fine.
What does it lead to?
That's fine. But
Oh,
I
I use
think
notorious for that. Give
kissing.
me a kiss.
I think that kissing, right, is enough of a carrot, right, to hang over your head to say, hey, when you start going for that bra strap and you start going for that buckle, you say, hey, now I want a serious relationship, or what are you looking for? And then you have a little bit of leverage there. But if you just sit over there in the corner and say, stay 6 feet away from me, don't touch me, it's gonna be slim pickings.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows once you start kissing, it leads to other things. It leads to hands, it leads to touching, it leads to groping, it leads to sex. So kissing is an open door. I call it a gateway drug. So
I agree with
get
that.
out of here with that.
I'm gonna have to
I
agree
think
with you.
I think church women, I mean, if you're holding out, you get awkward. Okay. I'm a church woman. All right. But what I learned is that they won't position themselves to be chose. Going on a date does not mean that he has to touch you, touch your bra, and that you can't give a kiss on the cheek. And like Mike said in the past, don't be in private spaces with a guy. That just makes common sense. Keep it out there so you can get to know. And possibly the more that she does date, she'll be more able to learn how to talk to a man that probably like, oh, she's cool, instead of like being socially awkward, reserving yourself so much you don't even know how to interact with the man to pique his interest.
So none of my family are socially awkward. We're great conversationalists. That's why she can talk on the phone so long, because people love to converse with her. But when it comes to certain topics, she just will not go there because that's unacceptable to her. You know how you're on the phone a lot of times and the guy will be like, so how many or whatever. That conversation doesn't come up with her because she doesn't allow it. That's inappropriate.
So how many what? What's the question?
I don't know. I don't have these questions with her, but I know that
you should.
Let me.
I should what?
You should ask those questions. That
I should know what she talks about on the phone. She's a grown woman. No, I'm not going to ask her those questions.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. I just think that sometimes women can do a little bit better to position themselves. And I mean, like all that time, conversation is only so much, but body language is another level of seeing a person, seeing them act, how they act in public. Even going to a restaurant, you can see if they're a-hole, if you see they're a gentleman. You don't know.
I agree. But there's also something called courtship, which was what happened in the days of old, and that's what she believes in. So even if she was to be around a gentleman, it would be in a church setting, it would be in a group, it would be at the house around the entire family. She, like Mike said, doesn't expose herself to men in private because that is how you get in trouble. I don't care how old you are, especially in your 30s, your juices start flowing, stuff starts ticking, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can handle myself. You put yourself in a predicament like that with a good-looking guy that smells good, stuff is about to happen. You kiss like Mr. King Sparkle.
It shouldn't happen because you said she has a specific set of standards, so it shouldn't happen.
That sounds good. Okay. I love the YouTube talking points, but in reality, a guy smells good. He looks good. You have an alone moment.
Means,
whispering the right things in your ear. You're not supposed to put yourself in that position. You could have all the discipline in the world, but you're in the wrong position in the dark by yourself alone with a good looking guy that smells good.
Why are you guys in the dark? This is what I'm talking about. What happened to the coffee date?
Order on the panel. We gotta get some of the other panelists in here. What's going on? How you say your name, my man? Joaquin?
Jaquin.
Jaquin and Auntie J. We're gonna start with Auntie J. What you got on the topic?
What's the topic, Mike?
Oh, no, you did not. No, you did not.
I forgot.
Does body count matter?
No.
Excuse me? No, bye, Auntie J.
And
Go
body
ahead.
count doesn't matter because to me, at the end of the day, the person that she's with, she may tell him, she may not. It may matter to him, it may not. In my previous relationships, no man never asked me except the man I'm with now. I told him about it. But for the most part, men don't ask that question. They don't even like to talk about my husband don't even like to talk about my daughter's father at all. And they know each other. And I wanted them to have like a relationship that was smooth, but my husband can't proceed to it, so oh well. So I just depends. I think it depends on the man. It always depends on the man and what he's got going on. And like your sister is virtuous. I'm not kissing you in the dark. I'm not being no places with you by myself. I'm not doing any of that because I'm nervous. I need to be comfortable. And the best setting for me is to be around people that's familiar to me and go from there. You're not taking me to no couch. Talk about some, give me a kiss. What you want? Tell me what you want. No, I'm talking about for the virgin woman. Because it's a very nervous thing. And we always remember that purity about a woman. You only get it once. And it's taken away and you don't get it back. So yeah, you want to protect that at all costs.
All right.
And don't kiss him
Quinn,
either.
my
Well, I
man,
believe.
first time on the Trigger Mike show. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys? But in general, yes, body count does matter, especially on the statistics too. For men, it's not as big of an issue since we don't really focus on like previous relationships like that or previous sexual history. We don't that doesn't really affect us. But for women, emotionally and mentally affects them on a deeper level. So yes, it does matter.
Indeed. And I already know where the women are going to go with this. They were like, it does affect men. It does affect men. Listen, I don't know. Nobody can find a scientific number that a man can sleep with that it's going to affect him mentally. And you want to know why that is? Is because we're actually finding out that most men don't have access to regular booty. So most
Right,
men we're never going to find out.
right.
So,
Why they keep asking that question, Mike? Why?
yeah.
What woman's gonna tell you the genuine truth?
Indeed.
You
Indeed.
never ask. You just like see what she does.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, so Auntie J, you came in late and you didn't watch the monologue. Let me ask you the question from the statement that I made earlier. Do you think a woman with 5 or less bodies behaves the same as a woman with 50 or more bodies?
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay, you answer
We
your own
act
question.
totally different, Mike. We act totally different.
Yeah, Mike, can I just answer that directly as well? You know,
Yes, sir.
Like the ones with
the body count situation with I
they're
tell
more.
people this way, you know, if you're
You cut
discerning,
me off.
just like you could tell the difference between an incel and a gigolo, you should be able to tell the difference between a woman who, you know, is somewhat virtuous and a 304.
That is
Just the way they move will tell you enough you need to know. Because I never asked. I mean, I've been married. I never asked my wife what her body count is. In fact, I stopped her from trying to give one of those come to Jesus moments with me and shit. I said, I don't want to know none of that shit. You know?
Yeah.
You know, just move on. And I did say, if you learn some shit, I better get the benefits of that. And that's about it. And we never talked about that again. You know, we just moved on. And that's it. So I think men, you know, I can't even see how men could form their lips to ask a woman, you know, how many bodies you have. She's gonna lie to you. She
It sounds
cannot
so
tell you.
insecure as a man, honestly. You asking that. It sounds insecure as a man. If
No
you
doubt.
just constantly wondering about that, yeah, it's a bad look.
Anyway, but that's me. I'm done. I know
That's actually
Endless
one of the
didn't go
questions I
yet.
got coming up. Wife school, what you got on it, on the topic in general?
I believe body count highly matters. like I like Kelly, her sister, like maintaining that purity, that virtuousness is awesome. And not a lot of people can do that. Okay. I didn't do that. So me reflecting and being honest, I highly commend people that can. Okay. And I think it gives a man, you know, the benefit of like, wow, this lady, you know, she saved herself for me. But it's like, how would you know without all the weird social stuff that we placed around it, and sex, and not wanting to be with, you know, a nice woman that's modest opposed to the baddie, the BBL, you know what I'm saying? The bust down. So body count does matter, but I think at the end of the day, like I've seen so many interviews that a man would not give his choice, his conscious choice, to a woman that has high body count.
I bet. My man Ennis, what's going on?
Everything's good. Everything's good.
All right, what you got on the topic?
Does body count matter? It definitely matters. It's something that I guess I'm trying to get across to my daughter. You know, she's not, you know, like active like that or anything like that, but just making her understand, like, you know, her value. And, you know, like if she wants to talk to somebody, he needs to talk to me first. You know, she needs to bring him to me to talk to first, and then yeah, it matters. It matters. It matters massively. I'm not going to say too much on it, but yeah, it matters a lot.
Right.
Yep.
It matters
Men
with
say
men
that
too.
body count matter, right?
You know
But
what?
if you never get the truth, right? If you never get the truth out of a woman, will that prohibit you from still continuing to grow on and grow old with her once you like what she has for you?
Are you saying body to me? Does body count matter?
Yeah, I'm saying to the panel.
Men don't want to know.
Well,
Right.
yeah, I was
Why
gonna
would
say
they
not
know?
only not so we don't really want to know the actual number, and the reason why we talk about, you know, predicting her body count or just getting with a woman who has certain values and moves a certain way is because we still have to make an accurate discernment on if she's gonna be a proper wife. All right, when we make
Right.
that discernment about the woman with 5 or less and 50 or more, there is a difference in this woman's behavior as it pertains to being a wife. I need y'all to understand that thing called alpha widows, where she won't form a bond with you simply because she had too many men to compare you to. So these women, this manifests itself in a variety of ways in a relationship. A woman can even come out her mouth to say, "Listen, you ain't like none of the other men I had." Like, excuse me. Like, men are reporting that women do this as if, you know, they're supposed to feel bad, but she's just comparing you to this man and this man and this man. That comes from somewhere, right? So of course, you don't want to know, but you want to know just exactly how far out there is her mind in relation to the man that she wants. How can she stay down and dedicate it with me instead of holding other men over my head and their performances and whatnot?
You'll have to watch my behavior, right?
Indeed.
Just watch what I do.
Well,
Hey,
It'll
Mike.
tell you everything.
you're on mute. Who said that? Who said something? King
Hey,
Carter.
Mike. No, I was saying, I was telling you what matters is if you could take your woman in public in that city and she don't know every dude wherever she go. That's what matters.
That matters. Here's another thing that matters. I think men have already made the concession that they're not going to marry a virgin in this new Western world, right? And we also know that the woman never forgets her first guy. You could be married 800 years and she still knows the guy who popped the cherry, right? Whether she had a good experience or a bad experience, she don't forget, you know? So if you could swallow, I was going to use the word if you could swallow that, but use something else. If you could handle that, you could just say, okay, you just don't want her to be a 304. You don't want her to be a porn star, because we see how that works for the porn stars. Once they quit, they're all lost. They got all kinds of issues. So that's just, so I mean, first of all, nobody's going to be marrying a porn star, not a regular dude. It's just not going to happen, so. But that's just a
But
good
they get
example.
married. They have boyfriends.
Yeah, but those
Whoa,
guys are
whoa,
in
whoa,
life.
whoa,
Strippers have, strippers
Those
get
guys are in
married.
life.
whoa. Hey, we
They don't
gotta stop
last.
doing this. Look at who their boyfriends and husbands
That's
are.
right. Those guys are in the life.
It ain't that they get married, and there are
Right.
plenty of people that desecrate the institution of marriage, but simply because they want to lock that woman down. These dudes are like these women are reporting abuse, sadistic and sociopathic levels of control. He don't let her go nowhere. Like, you got to listen when they go on OnlyFans and talk about their experiences when they were married. They're not married to Elon Musk. All right, so that's the distinction I want to make. We ain't
They're
about to be out
typically
here.
in the same circle when you
Yeah.
look at it.
It's usually like the producer. That's what I heard. It's like
Right.
a dude
There's
that they work
guys in the
with.
life. They marry guys in the life who understand
Yep.
that. They ain't marrying no regular Joe Blow, no regular guy on the street. He ain't marrying a porn star because he can't handle the smoke. And he shouldn't. A regular guy can. I can even. It's not even an insecure thing. I mean, who wants to be around?
Let me tell you how effective fathers are. I read probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago now, LaMelo Ball, one of the Ball brothers. This fool got pictured out or was rumored to be messing with one of the corn stars, say corn, one of the corn stars. And I'm looking like, ooh, his daddy about to show up on his doorstep. Oh boy. You didn't see a report after that, not one. All the tabloids gone. That dude daddy was like, I got to take a trip. Excuse me, cancel everything on my schedule. You about to sign a $200 million contract, and this is the woman you want to be seen out with? Not having it. All right, who hasn't gone on this? Cooking with, please tell us how we say your name, sir.
Cooking with Sir Senior.
Sir Senior, there we go. I'd be like, sir. All right, what you got on the topic?
I would definitely say that your body count matters, and I would have to interject with most of the guys on the panel. I want to know. I'm not P. Diddy or Myron Lyons. I want to know because it definitely puts me in a different headspace, understanding that you can be that honest with me. If you're going to lie to me about something that is as simple as your body count, you cannot change that. That's something you can't change. So why would you lie to me about your past if you want a future with me?
All right, so I've heard this quite a bit now. So, sir, you do want to know, will her answer change whether she can get a ring from you or not?
Yes, her answer will change, but also the more honest she is to her real number, because usually the first number she give you is not going to be real. She either going to, depending on the time and then the way you ask her, is what her number is going to be. You got to ask her different times. You got to ask her when she's happy, when she's sad, when she's happy with you, when she's mad at you. When, you got to ask her different ways, as you do with almost anyone, because most people lie, especially about things they're embarrassed about. But if you ask those questions, I'm very strategic. So I ask them in a more informational way and be like, okay, well, the last time you did this, who was it with? And did they did it different than this person? Or what did you like different than that person or whatever else? And those tend to get more honest answers because they're talking about what they like, what they dislike. And they're not really thinking about, oh, well, I just told you it was James and Tyrone and David and Kim's dad and this other person. And then you just, you remember that number. I got a really great memory. So you remember that number. And it's like, okay, that was 5 dudes, in college. And then she says, oh, well, I only been with 2 dudes in college. You're like, well, what about those other 3? And she's like, oh, yeah. And there was another dude.
So I just want to say something, sir. So the reason I can't do what you just said, because we would have already broken up by all that information you just gave.
For real.
I'd have shook her hand and been like, you know what?
Why tell me that? Like, come on.
I would have took accountability. Like, it's my fault. It's my fault this is happening. It's not you. It's me. It's not you. It's me. I shouldn't have asked that question. But I bid you adieu. I can't.
No, but you know what? Cooking. Can you explain what your motivation would be in terms of what you're trying to find out? I know you want a number, but if you're going through all of those, machinations,
more important question before that.
If you're going through all those machinations to find that number,
there's a more important question.
And you ask for more. So what?
There's a real important question before that. Are you married? Cooking, are you married?
Yes, I am married.
Okay.
Oh, how long?
It's almost 2 years.
Oh, you still new in the game. Okay, I'll leave you be, brother.
No, but did you go through that exercise
Yeah, but I
with
don't.
your
No,
wife?
I don't believe in divorce. That's why I just got married now. I don't believe in divorce. To death do we part.
Okay.
So if we're not working out, I believe in, going on a cruise, and one or both of us are gonna come back happy, respectfully.
I mean, did you have a number in mind that was unacceptable though? I'm just not I don't know what need to know your wife's number, but did you have a number in mind in general that would have just turned you off?
I mean, depending on the situation, 5 could turn me off.
Okay.
But at the same token, that's why you have to ask these questions, because if this woman dated a different guy every year, but she was with that guy all year, still by the time you get 30, that's 10, 15 dudes. But if she got all of her times with 10, 15 dudes in 3 months, and then she went on the, oh, well, Jesus saved me, born again version thing, and then went around and got 15 more dudes, that means she just took breaks. She stayed on the streets. She was just taking breaks from the streets. It's
Well,
certain
what
women
happens if?
who, go ahead.
What happens? What happens if she had one $5 foot long for 5 years? How would you feel?
No, you did not.
It depends on the caliber of that $5 foot long. You know what I'm saying? Was it from Subway or was it Jersey Mike's? If it was Jersey Mike's, then I'll be like, I might have to deal with that. But Subway, no way.
$5.
I think body count matters, but I also think it's irrelevant if you really fall for a woman. I think there's a lot of men. Yes, because I think there's a lot of men that are married to ex thoughts.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. So this is the thing. This is the thing. I agree. Here's where the thing happens. So you got to pay close attention, not just to what's happening when he marries her, what continues to happen throughout the course of the relationship. This is why men got to be careful thinking they can accept certain things. So it's not so, Kelly, I 100% agree. I've seen it happen, especially when, in my frat, we'll let you know we're brothers, we're frat brothers. You'll see a dude show up to one of the galas like, hey, bro, I just want to let you know. Oh, he like, you smashed? It's all good. I know. No. I smashed, he smashed, and he smashed, and dude will marry her. What I'm saying is that what I've noticed is that when a dude pretends he's over that, and it doesn't matter. These are the women that come back and report. Can you believe he called me a hoe as soon as he didn't get his way? Can you believe he used that against me as soon as we had our first substantial argument? You see what I'm saying? So a man thinks he can get over it. Very few can. That's my point.
That's 100% facts. Because if you
Man,
think she's a hoe up
these
front,
dudes be out
you
here
gotta
kissing
tell
and
her
telling.
she's a
That's the
hoe up
problem.
front. And you gotta understand what draws you to that hoe. So you a whoremonger. Because if you're not, because them hoes you want to be a monger.
Not killmonger, whoremonger.
Yes, right. It's a whoremonger. My father used to call men whoremongers. Yes, they're out there.
Go ahead,
I think it's disgusting if a man has a certain number, a body count number.
And what number is that, sis?
Yeah. Let's hear.
So
this.
I've had this conversation on the Trigger Mike show. For men, to me, it's more disgusting if it's unprotected, because I know men will just hit it raw and just be like, charge it to the game, man.
You can't just put that on a man.
Hey,
Stop
I need to hear your man voice.
So for me, a guy with 25 or more unprotected, that I just want to throw up. Because it's like
you might have just eliminated all millennials and Gen Z with that one.
The whole planet. Ain't nobody left.
Yeah, but the problem is that she just told every man that whoever wants to talk to her what to say.
Well,
She just gave him the game. She just gave. I understand it. I understand your specific situation. But I'm saying that women do this all the time. You just gave them the game plan. So now no man that's ever going to approach you is ever going to say, "I've had more than 25 partners unprotected."
Or every man.
After this weekend, no man ever approaches me again.
The funny thing is, every man just on this panel said, "Damn, I made the club." Did I have more than 25? You know,
No,
so
I definitely didn't make the club. That's not the point.
Okay,
But
and that's the
so
thing.
be
You
in the
guys
club
always
or not?
talk about just sex. That is one criteria, and that's disgusting to me. 10 is
Come
nasty.
on, stop
25
it.
is you make me want to throw up when I think about you.
Did you ask your
25.
husband?
Okay, that's
Did you
nasty.
ask your husband how many bodies
but
he
at the
had?
end of the day, how do you actually know? How does anybody know anything? There's
You
no
can
She
way
knows her
of
husband.
actually
so
finding out.
Craig,
And
Craig,
here's the, hold on. And there's this myth out here that you'll know, just watch the way she moves. A lot of these dudes out here can't even look at their own mamas and tell whether or not she was a hoe back in the day.
oh
So
God, oh
They
God,
want to know.
don't sit here and tell me that you can figure it out. You can't even look at the woman that's closest to you and tell whether or not what she was doing back in the
Trey.
day.
Now hold
Mm-hmm.
on. I do agree that a lot of men are stupid and don't know how to pick up the signals. But
Right.
all the men you saw walking out of your mama's crib, you should know whether your mama was a hoe or not.
Wow.
I'm just
But
saying.
they don't trigger, Mike.
All right.
I think it's
Hey
very
mama,
popular. It's very cool to say these things on
hey
YouTube.
mama, is your friend
It's very
leaving?
cool to say
Does
on
he want to
YouTube,
play?
hey,
Mama,
you know,
you
she got to have a low body count. But in real life, in practical life, men are not doing that. They are sleeping with women who have multiple high numbers, and they
I
have
agree.
no
Of course.
clue. They have no idea.
Yeah.
I
You're
just
stupid
watched
if
a
you
Are
don't do
they
video.
that.
marrying them?
I
Are
just
they
watched a video.
marrying those women?
I just watched a video. Yes, they are. I just watched a
Okay.
video of 19-year-old girls. They were telling their body counts, and every single one of them said a body count over 10. Every single
Yes,
one of them said it at
yes.
19.
The white girl, on the videos I was talking about, the mom, dad, sister was standing there, and she's like, I don't know, about 100, something like. The
Right.
dad was,
About 100.
y'all seen it? The dad was like, excuse me,
He was
I
shocked
ain't
and
see that.
appalled.
bruh. Oh
Hey Mike,
man,
and you know body count do matter because like that's the reason why women lie about it.
yep,
Like they know like if they talking to a guy that they can see themselves being with and she tell him the truth, that could kill her chances of her being with him. Like that's the reason
hands
why women
down
lie. That's the
logic.
reason why women double down on trying to shame men for caring about their
You know
body count.
what? You know what? You are on such a roll, Mr. Williams. Let's take men out of it because you
Right.
just made such a profound statement.
Oh
When
boy.
when women are arguing and they want to shame each other, can somebody tell me what the first thing they say is to each other?
Slut,
You're a
Your
hoe,
hoe.
man broke. Your man broke.
You're a hoe. They say it to each other.
They
Oh
definitely
man.
I
do
am
though.
a
I
hoe
done
to
heard it.
you.
I never
You
said
are
that
a
in the
hoe.
argument.
You slept with Tom, Dick, Harry, Bobby, blah, blah, blah. I walked in on you, reverse cowgirl curling Tyrone. You a
God.
hoe. Y'all know it matters.
Hey,
Y'all
I
know
listen.
it
don't
You know
have
matters.
what?
any hoe friends. I don't know.
You know why body counts matters, though. I mean, I'm not going to be. Everybody wants to be profound, but you could tell that body count matters to a woman because there's so many fucking. Excuse my language. There's so many bitter women out there, and they're
Oh, yeah.
bitter because they've been giving up their sex to so many random dudes and never getting the so-called return that they look for. And the truth of the matter is, women have tried to be like men so much, and they don't understand the dynamics of sex, right? Because the dynamics of sex between men and women are completely different. It's
Yep.
not a double standard, it's a different standard.
Yep.
A woman takes all of our energy. And if you know anything about electronics, a woman is like a capacitor, okay? She gathers a man's energy when they have sex, and it just builds and builds and builds. But unlike an electronic capacitor, it dissipates by power in your house. But a woman with all of that energy pent up from 100 guys in 10 months, it's nowhere to release it. And so when it manifests itself in bitterness, it manifests itself in self-destruction, it manifests itself in all kinds of ways because there's got to be a place to put that damn energy from all of these dudes. And it also manifests a place for where she can't bond with the next guy for that alpha widow reason and all these other women. So it's all of us on this panel. We don't have to act like we have to defend this. It's throughout the ages.
Right.
People know that women with a high body count, it manifests in certain different ways. Now, let me also say, men with high body counts also get affected, but it's different. They cannot. A lot of men who stroked a whole lot of women, the difference is they have issues. They have issues accepting one woman when they get married, or the commitment issues are a problem, right? They don't have the same psychological issues, but they have a commitment issue. Let me just say this: if you ever get a man, I'm gonna shut up after this. If you ever get a man who's young man like my man here, Jaquin or something like that, if you tell somebody, I need to get it out of my system, I tell these guys, listen, if you're wired to have a lot of sex, you will never get it out of your system. What you have to do is make a conscious choice to pick the woman you want and be true to her. And then you let time take care of it. And I'm gonna shut up after that. I said what I was.
Can we get some talking points from 2023? We keep doing this subtle depolicing. Now it's you can't do your biological urge. You can't don't be a man. Find one woman. That's not the way men are programmed. They're not
I didn't say
biologically
you had to find
programmed that
one
way.
woman. You have to still make a choice, brother. You cut me off. What I'm just saying is there's a
You
point
said
for
you were
every
done.
man. No, hold on. But there's a point for every man when you go through a sexual transformation. That's what I look at when you're a little older and you start putting your energy to something more useful than trying to get laid. Right? So,
Right.
I mean,
I understand what he's saying.
so go ahead, Trey. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I understand what he's saying. He said like you could pick one woman and be true with her because you got some women that's open to actually doing threesomes and stuff. So, I mean, but you would never know that if you're not even being upfront with a woman.
Exactly.
All right, let's
Yeah,
get to these
but
super
she's a
chats.
hoe.
Let's get to these super chats,
Hey,
and then we're gonna get into the next question. All right, my man AP, $5 just supporting my boy. Much love, appreciate that. $2 from AP again. $2 from AP again. Who gonna match this energy? That's what I'm talking about. AP supporting the show, listening to the monologue. Thanks for the support, brother. Cook it for 20 minutes and let it simmer. Oh, this is gonna simmer because people don't like talking about this stuff like it's not necessary conversation. When we say teach our daughters, this to me, this is education. Some women ain't never heard men talk like this ever. Why y'all care about body count so much? We're gonna let you know today. All right, my man King Spark, appreciate the support. AP again, hit the like button. Yes, right now, hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not already. My girl Peaches says the consequences of sex without marriage fall harder on the woman. Oh, thank you for this. Goddess wisdom. Women need to manage and protect their womb. We can't blame men when we set the standard. Let me tell y'all something about this right here. This is why I do not like that de-discipline argument. All right? All the men on this panel that got children that were in the delivery room when your woman gave birth, you had to realize one thing at that time, and I'm being really sincere with y'all. I don't die from this experience. She could die from this experience. That is a life-altering experience for a man to watch. For a man to know I did this to you. You in here literally screaming for your life. I did this to you. And I'm chilling over here. Okay? Women, you die in the delivery room, not us. That's a risk you take. Why would you not take more care? That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Mike, did you go south of the border in that room?
Oh my gosh, Mr. Rich. First off, they tried to bring the mirror in. I said, take that shit back. Please. She said she wanted the mirror. Like literally. So I caught a bit of, I literally just waved my hand and they start rolling it back out. I was like, no. So I tried to stand over her shoulder. My mom and her mom were in there. And then they said, get her something or can you pass the water? Like the nurses start moving me around. As I went past by her legs to get whatever it is they asked me to get, on the way back, I turned my shoulder like this and saw that crowning, but I almost passed the hell out, Mr. That
hey
is
Mike.
That's funny.
Men,
That's
listen up.
Hey,
You
Mike, I
still
wanted
have
to
to
say
have a
another thing.
relationship with that part of your woman's body. Unless you're just one of those dudes that like to watch TLC and all that graphic stuff, don't take a look at that.
You damn right.
Hey,
While it's possible to die from childbirth, it is highly unlikely. In 2021, you had over 3 million babies born and only 1,100 deaths. So while it is possible and it can happen, but in today's society, and again, this is why I keep saying we have to have talking points from today. because we're talking about things from 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. It's highly unlikely that a woman that has a child will die, but it can happen. Yes.
So I'll give you one better.
But it's more likely
How
that a black
likely is it
woman
that a
would
woman
die
gonna get
than
stressed
any
first?
other woman.
How likely is it that a woman's body is going to be deformed from the baby? Very
Well,
likely.
we're moving the goalpost. Now we're talking about deformity.
Well, no, I'm just saying. You gave an excellent rebuttal. That's what I'm saying. Either way, she's the one that suffers, not me. She's the one.
Facts. I agree. She does go through change, and
So we can.
I think a lot of that change is
she's the one that
psychological.
goes through that change. And wait, the most important part: government is basically going to give her custody whether I want to be involved or not. So she has
Hey,
more
Mike.
at stake. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Mike, I wanted to add another thing to the body count conversation too, because I was just watching the Pineapple show yesterday, and there was a masseuse on there, and she get happy endings, and she do OnlyFans. So she was into adult content. So you should, man, the guys over there were just tripping when they heard it, just letting them know up front what it is, and it was bad.
Is she married? Does she have a husband?
No kids, no husband. She just out here just giving it up for some money.
Crazy. All right, still low key, $5. The prior generation failed us, and here's the example. I've heard that a lot too. And I used to think this started with like millennials. It did not. It started like at the end of the boomers, Gen X. They were the wild ones. A lot of
at the end of the boomers and Gen X, like I have a piece on that, and it's exactly right because my family's a good anecdotal example for that.
I'm gonna link that. Put it in the back chat.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, I'll link it for you.
I'll do that.
All right, Perry Unlikely, $10. I appreciate that. Body count matters. Everyone talks about the effects it has on a woman. What's possibly more important are the psychological issues that lead to promiscuity beyond normal curiosity, unresolved issues. Indeed, my man, wise words. Hunt Inc., $10. Appreciate that. Body count matters, period, especially for a woman and men also. I wish I could go back over 25 years and never touched as many as I have. It's nothing to be proud of. Hey, accountability. I like it. Proxy Moron, $215, $5. 300 credit score. Here's a loan. Past evictions. Here's the keys. High body count. The past matters. Bring shame back. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, that was an awesome one. So I appreciate everybody for the super chats. Keep them coming here on the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network, the greatest network on YouTube. Keep those super chats coming. Let us know how you feel. Does body count matter? I'm going to read all the super chats. I promise. I want your answer to these upcoming questions in the form of super chats if you can swing it. All right. So next question coming up, we're going to start with wife school. I want a woman's opinion on this. We're going to start with wife school. What is considered a high body count for a woman?
Ooh.
You may go.
Maybe 7, 6.
Over 1.
Okay.
Do you mean like a high body count where a man won't consider her wifey material, or just a high body count just randomly?
You know, I like that. Where a man won't.
Because I'm trying to be like in the consideration of where a man would have his cutoff point.
Our brother Sir said he wouldn't, even though he said he likes to ask, he said he wouldn't seriously consider a woman if it was too high. So yes, where a man won't take you seriously as a candidate for marriage.
I say 7.
Woo. All right, King Spark. What is considered a high body count for a woman?
Honestly. In this day and age, man, I'm gonna give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I really would say 10.
Okay.
If you're meeting a grown ass woman, I would say 10. Because you probably got one in high school, you had a couple in college, then it was Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and at one time a band camp.
God dang.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know.
All right. We're gonna get a side question. This is a sub question. Does it count if it wasn't in the States? If you can't physically run into that dude,
yeah, it count.
Does vacation booty count? Yes or no?
Oh yes.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
It counts.
Y'all women are really screwed now. Because look, we thought this was a dude thing. If you read worldwide, they got women from Scandinavian countries going into Africa trying to get knocked down by African dudes.
Oh yeah,
Now, the passport sisters was a thing way before the passport brothers was a thing.
no doubt, no doubt.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it.
And it's just
And
pure
then,
decadence too.
and then
Ain't no,
social media, social media ruined y'all. Because all those pictures of y'all in Jamaica getting your booties rubbed on the raft, that's why y'all got to go off and get your booty rubbed. Because don't nobody want to see that on land. You don't want nobody to see what's happening on land. So you got to go on the raft with them, rubbing lotion all on your ass. So we counting that too. Y'all ladies are screwed. Y'all numbers about to be too high.
about it.
All right,
And
Mr.
Mike,
Rich.
let's not forget Kappa Beach Party and Freaknik.
Oh no, the
Let's
shorty
not
short.
let's not forget them.
Let's talk about the Omega shorty short. I don't even want to
Oh
talk
man,
about it.
let me tell you, man,
'Cause
stop.
listen.
How about Black Bike Week?
Oh no, you did it, Trey. No, you did. Greek Picnic and Black Bike Week, it's over. CIAA, all the conference, the black HBCU conferences. If she went to CIAA, her body count over 15. If she been going for, wait, hold on. How old am I? Yes. If you know a woman that's currently single that goes to Black Bike Week or any HBCU conference champion, like March Madness, so she booked her hotel. She's probably out this week to go. She got at least one dude per year. At least. That's what they go there for. All right. Mr. Rich, what is considered a high body count for a woman?
Man, I think anything over 10, depending on her age. It's age dependent, right? It depends, So, and I think anything over 10 at any age is, and then it depends on what kind of relationship she was in. There's a reason why married women get remarried more than a single woman at 35 or 40. Because over the time of her marriage, it's assumed that she only had one Johnson.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact is, I don't get overly kind of crazy about that. My wife went to Dayton, Ohio, Dayton University. It was a Catholic school, so it probably was wilder than any other school. But the fact is, but when I married her and met her, she was still living at home. She had a curfew and all that kind of stuff. So I knew she had a body or two. But I didn't think but the way she moved was completely something I was comfortable with. Okay, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know all the secrets that what she did, but it didn't really matter. I just knew she wasn't a woman of the streets. I just knew that because I met her parents and I did all the old fashioned shit, right? Talked to her father for her hand in marriage. I kept her out late. I said this before. I'm going to say it real quick. I kept her out late one night, overnight. And you know what? I didn't even get laid. We were just hanging out. I came in at 6 o'clock in the morning and her parents were sitting on the couch with pitchforks and shit. Like that picture with the pitchforks and shit. And they tore me a new ass. It's so funny because she disappeared, right? And she left me in front of them. They kicked my ass up and down. Mrs. this, Mrs. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And we were already engaged. We were already engaged. So, so she was an old-fashioned girl. So I got lucky that way. I'm a baby boomer. She's Gen Xer or whatever that is. And maybe she might be a baby boomer too, because it was 61, so.
Dang. That's what I'm talking about.
But anyway, that's just my own little story. Anyway, let me let you go. But I don't know about it's not hard. I mean, I was a college dude. I'm a frat dude. We've been through the women. The women been through us. And some of those girls who were loose, they were good people. Some of them were really good. I didn't care how many men they had. Some of them were just good people. They were upwardly mobile. They were professional coming out of college. So I didn't slight them because they got laid. You know what I'm saying? That's what people were doing up there. But that's it. Anyway, I was confident enough to know that even she had an Alpha Johnson and all that kind of stuff. She wanted to, I didn't worry about that stuff. Anyway, go ahead, Ennis.
Alpha Johnson.
Women love them alphas. Just tell you that.
Why we gotta follow this brother? Man?
Oh, that's according to the phrase of Alpha Johnson. Yeah, there you go.
I think Brother Rich should be left for last every time, man, because he just like closes it out. So you gotta follow after him. I'm gonna say 10 buddies or more. 10 buddies or more, and yeah, that's gonna be hard to find. But like also I'm dealing with like my age, like bracket and stuff. Like I think most if I meet another woman, she's probably gonna had a past relationship. So I know that she's like Brother Rich said, she's probably been in a relationship for a long time. So, you know, it'll keep the bodies down. But that woman that's my age and that's still single, you know, she's been around, you know, ring around the roses. She's did her do, and so it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So I'm whether she's young or I'm gonna still say about 10 buddies.
Let me ask you though, but is it going to deter you if she's a good person? If she's like,
Yeah,
say she's 33, would it stop you because you say, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, because when you sit down to talk to them, like, you know, it may not come out initially, but then when you actually start to talk and you actually interact, and you know you get into different situations, it comes out. It comes out. So, you know, like people think like because someone's like saying something or hiding something, no matter what you try to, like they say, whatever in the dark comes to light. So it will, you know, like you may get
How
in
does
this.
it come out?
No, you may get in a situation in the bedroom or something like later on or something where things are getting to their place, and then all of a sudden they just start doing some mystical, magical stuff like just, and you be like, wait a minute, what's going on? Where this
Oh,
come
so
from?
your woman gives you an eyebrow raising moment, and you're
Yeah,
gonna
you
hold that
know,
against her? I mean, listen,
it just,
that's why I told my girl. I mean, I'm gonna cut you off for a second. I'll give it back to you. That's why I told her, if you learn some shit, I better get the benefits of that
yeah,
shit. Because if I stopped her every time she did some shit that I didn't know she knew how to do, then we wouldn't be married for 35 years. We wouldn't be married
yeah,
for
but
35 years.
it's
You know what
gonna
I'm
be a
saying?
balance.
Come on. You know,
It's
so
gonna be
sometimes you gotta let some shit go and just enjoy the fucking ride. Excuse my language. You know,
yeah, but
because
it's that's not, you know, I don't know how to explain that. Like
no, but
there are
I hear
gonna
where
be
you're coming from. I hear where
they're
you're
gonna
coming. I'm
be
laughing,
That's
but
your
I'm trying to keep
yeah.
it light.
They're
man.
gonna be there's every man has his you know, okay, that's too far. And if that woman has been through some stuff where she, you know, goes too far, you be like, hey, you know, what's up? You know, you just have
But if
to.
she tried to pee on me, I would say something about that shit. You know, if she's trying to, hey man,
Whoa,
then,
whoa.
hey man, it's a bridge too far. I'm not just saying, anything goes, but
You
I'm,
get what I'm saying, though,
I'm
right?
having too much
Mr.
fun.
Rich, you're
Hey,
crazy.
what's in this
a
coffee,
doctor,
goddammit? What's in the coffee?
more than
Anyway,
likely, it's already happened to you, bro. If a doctor would tell you that, she's probably already done it. You just didn't know.
What?
Damn.
I didn't know where you go with that, so I don't. Yeah.
I'm talking about him being urinated on. It's probably already happened. He
Oh,
just didn't
oh, get
realize.
out of
Oh
here.
He didn't
no. Hey,
realize.
Come
man,
on,
no,
come
no,
on, Trey.
no. He's
He's been
golden
married. He's been
shower
married for
to yourself.
35 years. It's probably already
Listen,
happened.
I'm a
No, no,
regular guy. I'm a,
we didn't go to the urination.
I'm a
That's
real
funny
I'm
as
a
hell.
regular
No,
guy. I
no,
can't
we
be
didn't
out
do
here.
that.
Nah. Y'all
No,
keep
that's
that.
so funny, man.
That's
It's
extra
it's
stuff.
hard for me to believe that a couple that's been together for 35 years hasn't done it all. I'm sorry.
No, I 100% believe a couple hasn't done it all. I 100% because I ain't doing that. Let
And
men.
neither am I.
I just told you. I
We
just
haven't
told
done
you
it
yes.
all, brother.
Listen,
We
hold
have
on, hold on.
not done it
I
Some
all.
just
things are
told
not
y'all
gonna go
yesterday
down.
that
Like
I am
That's some funny
incentivized not
shit.
to divorce my wife. My family will disgrace me. So if my wife pees on me, we are silently separating. And I'm sleeping on one end of the house,
I'm
and she's
sorry I
sleeping on the
brought it
other
up, man.
for the
I'm
rest
sorry
of
I
my
brought
life.
it up.
Look what you did, Mr. Rich.
Babe, I'm
That's just some
sorry.
funny
I just
shit,
wanted to
man.
try something new. Please get away from me, young
Oh,
Miami.
man.
Okay,
All right.
you should
Okay.
have checked with me first.
Jaquin's up, man. Jaquin, so let's move on.
My kids gonna be like, "Why you and mommy getting?" No. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You get Tinkerbell over there away from me. Okay? No, thank you.
That's some funny shit.
All right. Who hasn't gone on this? Jaquin. What
I
is considered a high body count for a woman? Curves in Granville. I see you in the back. I'm gonna bring y'all up shortly.
it depends on the context, but as a 21-year-old, it would have to be in the single digits, because that's more stable. But once, as you get older, I would say it becomes more acceptable, but I still wouldn't be a fan of it, But yeah, I would prefer like more pure, more stable. That's what I would like in a wife. What I prefer.
Mhm. You see, listen, y'all don't be hearing me when I say we live in the gray area, man. Y'all don't hear me. We have such a crisis over here in the States that we have to use terms like more pure instead of just pure. Instead of just pure, we got to be like, as pure as she can be. You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
pure. Purity is purity. But here we got to be like, more pure than the average. That's what I'm talking about this gray area we got over here, boy. It's ridiculous. Sir, all right, so this is important for me to ask you because of the statement you made earlier. What is considered a high body count for a woman? What will make you go yuck?
Okay, so the question first is, I got a question for quality assurance purposes. Do y'all count all sexual contact,
Penetration.
or do y'all count
Penetration
just
only.
pure sex?
Penetration only.
Okay, so for me, when you hitting double digits, that's disgusting. Even if you're 20, 30, that's disgusting, because even though I'm way beyond that, I'm multiple 10s, 20s beyond that, still, like, I feel disgusted by the bodies I had. So the simple fact of when you really look at it and say, okay, you're just out here giving it to just anybody. And once you're hitting those double digits, you're just giving it to anybody. This is not somebody you really cared about, somebody you was even really infatuated with, for you to be hitting those double digits. It's no way. It's not that many people. You're not that social, unless you grew up at the swingers mansion. There's no way that it's possible for you to run into that many people that you're infatuated with. So even just infatuated, not even really liking them or loving them.
Indeed. Trey, what you got? What is considered a high body count for a woman?
One. Anything one. One is high. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and at some point in time, we're going to have that conversation about preservation, right? And what she's going to be valued by. And unfortunately, I don't get to make the rules. Okay, is it fair to her? No, probably not. But I have to teach her some real world. I have to teach her for the time that she's in. And having a body count of over one is going to put you in a certain category. The average number of partners for men and women in the United States is somewhere between 6 and 7. That's the average number for most people. So no, for me, it's one. My question typically isn't about the body count. My question is are you a virgin or you're not a virgin? Because I'm going to treat you a different way depending on which one you are. If you're not a virgin, I'm going to treat you a certain way. And if you are a virgin, I'm going to treat you a different way. But
Where
for
you
me,
meeting virgins at?
you don't. That's the point. That's why they get treated the way they
Oh, I'm
get
about to
treated.
say.
But that's why I treat them the way I treat women the way that's the reason why I'm not married. No hymen, no diamond. It's very simple for me. I'm not about to give you that. I'm not about to give you that. And you don't have nothing to give to me. Give me something that you never gave another man. And most women don't have anything to give that they haven't already given somebody else. But yeah, you want me to give you my last name, in which I've never given any woman. That doesn't equate to me. It's not equal. Right?
How
So
old
for
are you,
me,
Trey?
I agree
Hey,
with
Trey,
that.
how old are you?
38.
Okay. And you had this manifesto ever since you were, in the game.
I had this manifesto ever since I got to my first duty station and really started getting around women and started to really pick this up in 2004 when I was stationed in Anchorage, Alaska. And I started to understand women and go, oh, hell no, they out here.
But you
I
have
would
a
see the
daughter, though, you
Damn.
said, though,
Yeah,
right?
you have a daughter.
Do you know the type of
Okay.
woman you're gonna
Well,
have to
I don't
get?
understand what having a daughter has anything to do with it. I just said
Well,
that I
it
was going
was
to.
there was a woman that you loved enough to give a baby to, right?
Yes, that's true.
All right. So is that a kink in the armor or what? You know what I'm saying? I mean, is that
Why?
something you do?
Why are you asking me why? I don't understand. I don't.
Okay, maybe
What are
I
you
should be
saying?
more direct. How come you didn't marry her then?
Why didn't I marry her?
Yes, right.
Because she had hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, and I'm not marrying that.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
not
that's
Well,
signing up
good.
for that.
that's
Why would I
that's
ever take on?
explanation.
Why would I ever take
Smart
on debt
move.
why would
Smart
I ever
move.
take
No,
on
no,
debt
you don't have to go any
that
further.
I didn't incur? Well, you asked the
You,
question. Let me
you don't,
answer it.
no, I'm just saying that that's a good answer enough. You don't have to go into the details. That's a good enough answer.
And I made it very clear to her from the beginning. I never hid it from her. On our first date, she asked me straight up, "Do you want to be married?" My answer was no. So it wasn't as though she didn't know what was coming. I was honest. If you can't tell by now, I'm a very straight and direct person. I don't mix words. I told her from the very
Gotcha.
beginning. But for me, The number, a high body count number is 1. Anytime. My question isn't about how many bodies you have. My question is, I ask a woman straight up, are you a virgin or are you not a virgin? And she says, well, no, I'm not a virgin. I'm going to treat her a certain way.
Trey, I got a question. When the last time you met? When is the last time you've met a virgin?
You haven't.
Are you
You ain't
thinking,
met no
or are we
virgin.
just supposed to take that silence as a never?
Before I got with my daughter's mom, and again, to the point I was trying to make earlier, I have no clue whether or not she was a virgin or not. She could have been lying to me. There's no way for me to actually know these things. This is why I don't do the body count thing, because there's no way of telling.
Well, so yes, in a sense you're right, but we also got to remember. So there is a thing that you can do, right? So it's not really the woman telling you that she's a virgin. I would rather a father tell me she's a virgin. So the women that are virgins are preserved that way for a reason. And literally the family is looking to get something for that girl. Like, hey, we preserve her. You are a man of value and of substance. She will bleed the day you take her virginity. Like, that is really you. So you can find them, just not in this weird ass freedom sex culture we got out here where people are dating. No, if you're courting and looking to court a woman and you're willing to go up to her father to get a date, or you'll find out more from the daddy.
So Trigger Mike, you telling me to go out and find a woman who has her dad in her life and she's a virgin? I might as well start looking for unicorns.
It's
I'm
possible.
not saying you can find them in America.
Anything is possible, sure. But in America, how often are you going to find a virgin with her daddy in her life?
Like I wouldn't.
We just had one talked about earlier.
No,
I'm not,
she's available,
and she's. Come on.
So here's the weird part. We give the hoes too much credit, man. We give the hoes too much credit. You can find these women out there, but men are kind of suffering from the same thing the women are suffering from. Is it the woman you want? You kind of want that woman with more flair, with showing more titty, and this girl might as well have a hijab on. She's so conservative. So men got this thing where they don't even look. They say women don't see 9 out of 10 men because they're only looking at one, the man they like. I'm starting to believe men got that type of tunnel vision too. You don't see the conservative women. You only see the ones that are more attractive, got their titties out,
that's a
ass
fact.
coming out from the side. But y'all let me know what y'all think.
Yeah,
that's exactly what's going on.
Thank you, Trigger.
You don't point with that. I ain't gonna lie. We all shop in the same supermarket, but we want the stuff that's on Rodeo Drive or whatever, you know, and then we get what we get.
I would say there's a difference between relationship intimacy and casual sex. And like I believe we as men, we look at that when we pick a partner, it's like 10 casual sex partners. No, a couple relationships, that's fine. It's like, didn't work out.
You know, so I told you I used to like Indian girls when I was young. And I'm telling you, I will go to that community if I'm looking for a virgin. Now, unfortunately, they're not allowed to marry. I see a lot more of it now, but they were definitely not allowed to marry black dudes when I was young, man. But the way these girls move, that's what I model the thought and the behaviors of a chaste and virtuous woman. When I say these girls don't let you touch their hand, right? They're extremely to themselves. They don't, handshakes and hugs are too much for them. Like literally, they don't like intimate touching because their daddy told them not to do it. Those type of women, I'm telling you, I'll believe that woman because her whole life is centered around her virtuosity. You know those girls that used to tell you they're a virgin, but sitting there giving you a lap dance at the school dance. Hell no, you ain't no virgin. You know how to do this too well. Lying to me and shit. Yeah, those girls didn't do that. But let's get to my man. Who's next on this? Mr. Williams. What is considered a high body count for a woman?
5, 6. Like it's different from a woman. I feel like that been in relationships versus a woman that just out here letting niggas smash. Like
that's true.
Like I don't want no woman that's out here just passing it around like it's a pack of fruit snacks or something. like because nowadays it's like getting it from women is like going to the market and just picking whatever you want off the shelf. Like it ain't hard at all. So I mean, it definitely matters. Like, you know, how she carry herself. That's why when people ask about body count, some people might say they feel like it's a man insecurity or whatever. But it's like I don't feel like that because I want to know how you was moving as a woman. Like, because that's going to matter to me a lot. Like, and I don't know, I just don't want no woman that's been out passed around. Like every time you turn around, oh yeah, you know we, yeah, oh yeah, like no, it ain't gonna get me with that one.
Mm-hmm. Callie Bev says, I knew and I was a virgin. That's because I was a tease. So all black men know this, okay? But we're gonna ask you, once you started teasing, how long did you stay a virgin? Next,
Yeah, they
CEO.
definitely give it up after that.
I'm about to say that girl at the school dance wasn't a virgin that long after I felt. Y'all remember that Shake It Fast song? I still remember that ninth grade dance. Shake It Fast, Watch Yourself. This girl dropped that whole thing on me, talk about she was a virgin. All right, we gonna see. I'm gonna put all the time I got into this right here. CEO, you there?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
here.
he must be. Bet. What
Am I
is
coming through
considered a
clear?
high body count for a woman?
I was trying to think about it before it came to my turn and stuff, and it's like with me, it's kind of proximity. Like I'm concerned more about when the last time she was with a dude, when was the last before she was with that dude. That more like how often she's with me. You know what I'm saying? But of course, when it comes to talking about a body count of man, just naturally, I don't want to hear anything. Like if I do, it was like a year ago. You know what I'm saying, and really, I just don't want to get into it, so I can't really exactly what. Of course, I wouldn't want to pass 3, 4, 5. But I'm
Okay.
saying if it like I said, it's really hard to think about because if you messing with a female who's like 40 years old, and you say that you say a body count of 5 is too, is that for real though? Like you saying 40 years old and she only done sex with 5 dudes? Is
No,
that really a
no, it
lot?
ain't bad.
But if she had sex with 3 dudes in the last 2 years, then it's a man. But if
Yeah,
she
that's a
had
problem.
sex with 4 dudes over the last 15, I I don't. I mean, I wouldn't even want to know. Like, just don't even tell me because as long it ain't really
Exactly.
no problem. So it's
So here's.
because
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Forgot you. You done? My bad.
I
CEO, you
don't
done?
even understand if you can say on it. You understand what I'm trying to say though? It's like 40 years old, all that amount of time only with 4 or 5 dudes. That's not a problem. My issue be more with this woman. How many dudes have you had sex last like 2 years, rather than how many dudes have you had sex with in your entire life? I'm more concerned about how sexually active she is.
Got you. All right.
And then and
Let me
now
give
I'm
my
done.
answer on this. So I'm gonna give the realistic answer because, like y'all said, we don't know.
No.
I heard this. I heard this said once, and it made so much sense to me. They said it is disgusting if a woman has more bodies than she can have babies per year. From the time she start having sex, if she has more men in the amount of time, like if you have sex with one dude, give yourself 9 months because that dude could get you pregnant, right? Give yourself 9 months. You got another body, give yourself 9 months. If that 9 month span totals up to more than what your age is, or your number at the time, you got too many bodies because each dude is literally a potential father of your child. I mean that's science, right? Nobody's gonna refute that. So if you got more bodies than you could have babies per year during that 9 month span, sorry, ladies, it's not looking good for you. I even like that. I like that classification, right? And I'm kind of with everybody that said the relationship thing. So I kind of got some game from my father, some of my OGs. Like, all right, I think I'm getting serious about marriage. How do I choose? Because I think a young man is going to be stumped. Because most young men they just know hoes. They just know a bunch of promiscuous women. And especially if you out here in these streets like that, you don't trust women because if you have a bunch of female friends and they're telling you the stuff they've done and the men that they've been with, you like, I don't trust women. I seen her cheat on her boyfriend. I seen her cheat on my frat brother with this dude. I see, like, you start not to trust women. So they told me the best guess you can have is a woman who is a serial monogamist and stays in long-term relationships. I was like, found a golden goose, right? So that became my favorite woman to date. And the same way I told y'all, a woman with 5 or less bodies behaves different than a woman with 50 or less bodies. I saw that distinction immediately. Those women who are in long-term relationships just happen to be like women who seemed like wives already because they had to serve in that relationship. They had to stay down in that relationship. There were certain expectations they had of a man, even in the dating process, right? So, well, yeah, my relationship, there was just high school. That was just high school. Then I had a college boyfriend. We were on and off. I was really focused on my studies. He didn't like that, blah, blah, blah. And then she met me. So I'm like, and of course, some people like, nah, bro. Who said it? It was that Omega party and the time in Cancun or whatever. Add that time to all these women who have had multiple Cancuns and they 30, 35 and they still single. I'll take the woman with a few relationships and then she met me. I will take that all day. That's the best guess you ever gonna get, right? So that's the way I look at it.
Are we assuming that these women were faithful in these relationships?
Well, I was gonna say to me it doesn't. There's no way.
Well,
It's a
she wasn't.
better strategy. It's a better strategy than a woman who wasn't.
Yeah,
So
but the answer is yes. You're
Yeah.
assuming that though.
Yeah. We aren't strategizing like, look, we don't know, like you said. You were the one that said it. We were just strategizing. I'm gonna choose the best strategy, and that to
That's
me
a
is the
good
best.
strategy.
All right,
I
so
agree.
Yeah, that was to my point, Mike. You just elaborated to my point. Like, a woman who's had like 4 or 5 relationships as opposed to a woman who's had 15 or 20 or even more. The energy is different. They just different, and if it's not what you're looking for, like, and most men won't speak up and say like, yo, I'm not feeling this energy. This is a bit much. This is like over the top, It's like, but most men are just like, I got the prize, I got the trophy, and just roll with it and suffer instead of actually speak their mind.
Indeed. All right, we're gonna get to the next one. King Spark, you up first. What is considered a high body count for a man? Is there such a thing? Ladies, this one's for you. In the chat, you let us know. I will take super chats in the forms of answers. What is considered a high body count for a man? What will make you ladies say yuck? Go ahead. Oh, no, we can't hear you. I'm like, is he asleep? What's going on? We can't hear.
Who?
No, I think something wrong with it. Go ahead. No, we can't hear you. Go ahead and fix your audio. Wife school, what you got?
For a body count for a man?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
I think Mike should answer first.
Oh man, I'm actually gonna a high body count for a man. So if we're gonna give some parameters,
I say 30.
Okay.
30.
30. Why 30?
Because I know that men go through different stages. You're young and like the hormones are raging, and you're like, you see girls, there's that puppy love stuff. Then there's some accidents and mixed in with some relationships in there. Like guys said that they, had bodies, but they wish they didn't have that many. So there's accidents. Oops. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Just swiped off. And there's some meaningful relationships in there. So I would say 30, hopefully protected.
Well, y'all love that protected one. Listen,
but I know that's not ideal. I know that's not the truth.
Listen, y'all, from some of the stats that I've seen, ain't nobody having protected sex out
here. Yeah. Nobody.
Ain't nobody.
Nah, not happening.
From some of the stats that I've seen on incurable STDs, this is the movement y'all wanted. Ain't nobody having protected sex. The funny thing about it is that even if you have a cut, but like everybody starts off using a rubber. It's the stupidest thing ever. Yeah, don't even go get tested and just be like, I don't like this no more. Like somehow knowing a person better through time changes their status. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, you start off that way, you definitely don't end that way. Let me give my answer on this because I think this is important for men that were put in an environment like a college. I have noticed that there is actually serious dispersion between the number of men with like low body count. Like there's almost no middle. Men either have a relatively low because they themselves were serial monogamous. And even if they cheated like once, it's usually like men cannot acquire sex easily. That's why there's such a huge dispersion. I know men with 10 that literally got girls, right? They got with a shorty, they were with her for 2 years. They got with another one, then what men more likely do that can't get women often, they just keep the same woman. If they get a cut buddy in between relationships, they just keep her in rotation. It's not like they're getting a bunch of women, they keep her in rotation. So even my buddy with like 10, he's a guy that can get girls, but he was in a relationship, it was over. He went back to the old joint, kept her in rotation. He's like, so, and then he going back to the woman he slept with before. The reason what I say is a high body count is 100 plus. I know countless guys with 100 plus. Because if you're a guy on a college campus, let me tell you, it is, if you got you don't have to use the word game. You could be a deaf mute and get ass on a college campus. The girls are just they outnumber the guys. And the worst part about it, and I've told y'all my story, I was a good guy. I was personable. I would talk to people. I would go up. And the fact that one girl wants you mean another group of girls in that vicinity are going to want you. You let not one woman ever hear you lay down some good pipe. Everybody's going to want to try it. That's what happens in college. Literally text messages on your phone. Talk about how you get this number. Heard it was bomb. You free after class. Stuff like that happens to dudes in college. So my roommate, like for some reason, I lived in one of those suites that had like 4 rooms in it. I asked my roommate, my boy, his number is 200 plus, like 250, I think. And I'm telling you, there were times, this is disgusting, 2 a day. 2 a day. I would wake up
You said
because
that was disgusting?
Mm-hmm.
2 a day. So the girl, whoever was in there that slept with him the last night, or they go at it again in the morning. So boom, boom, boom. I just hear the headboard like, God, this dude here. I see her walk out using the bathroom, like, excuse me, can I get ready for class now? Then in the night or the evening, whatever girl he macking on the yard, he was a Kappa, so he be using that pretty boys, he be shimmying all in their face and stuff. Next thing you know, he knocking down another freshman in the afternoon or the evening. So easily, within the 2.5 years we were roommates, easily took 100 girls down, easily, without a sweat. So I'm just saying.
College football players have 2 a days. Ain't no problem.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Can y'all hear me
No,
now?
but I think
Yeah. So it's my turn on what? We still
yes,
going
sir.
around or what?
It's your
Yeah.
turn.
Is my mic working? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
All right. So anyway, listen, I agree with you, Mike. I know a few brothers that were knocking them down 2 at a time. So my metric would really be not a set number per se, but probably be over 50. But is at the point where a man can no longer have maintain a meaningful relationship. I mean, I've seen some of the brothers, who were just knocking them, just lining them up and knocking them down twice a day, 3 times a day, bragging about it, and still try to maintain a girlfriend who he was jealous of. She couldn't talk to nobody. He's knocking them down 2 or 3 a day, and he's jealous over this one woman. I said, "What's the matter with you? Is he psychotic?" You know. So I mean, he was one of the frat brothers I pledged, and it's kind of funny because I have a real quick story. Like one day, this beautiful woman that I liked, right? She was unbelievable. So I bring some wine, a little cheap. I'm over her room, and I'm thinking I'm getting somewhere. Right? We're talking, she's a little cheaped up. I got her all juiced up, and I said, okay, maybe nothing's gonna happen today. So I'm leaving the dorm room. And I see him on the elevator getting off my floor. And I said, "Where you go?" I said, "Where you go?" "Oh, I'm going over to the sisters." I said, "I was just there." So he went over there. I got this chick all buttered up and shit. He goes in there. He busted down. He's busting the cheeks. And then I'm saying, you bastard, can't any of us have any of the women? And he's just knocking them out 2 at a time. And, we laughed about it, of course. I mean, because as soon as I saw him on the floor, I said, this effing guy. I know where he's going. I knew where he was going. And, I just said, where you going? He said, oh, no.
Well, you should get credit for an assist. That was an assist right there. That was an assist.
Yeah, right. But that brother, just get back on point. He has so much trouble forming any meaningful relationships that lasted.
Let me
I
tell
think
y'all
because
something.
of that. I really do believe it because he was just getting women. Anytime he found any problem with any woman, he was just on to the next. He didn't have to go through any other issues. So I think that's the way men get affected by having too many bodies.
Yep. And let me tell you, my college experience is why I said, I don't know if y'all heard me say this before. My daughter is not staying on campus.
Oh,
She could go to school online, bro. She could go to school online just fine. I will get you a headset. You could virtually attend class. Stay your ass in this house.
That's funny.
I mean, listen. The bad part about it is that the ratio at most colleges, I believe, is 7-1. Like you're struggling. Women understand fully that they're sharing D. Just like you said, Mr. Rich, all of this was going on, and I had a girlfriend. So they looking at her like, you know what I mean? She was a Delta. That's what made it worse. So, the AKA droid I was with the other night looking like, how's your man, girl? Like, stop staring. She gonna find out. Like, so it's really bad. They all know they sharing D, and it still don't matter.
And Trigger, it's not even the guys that's on campus. Well, I remember when I was in the military, I would come home and I would go visit my boy at Howard University. I would go up to Howard, and I didn't go to Howard, and I was up there with the girls too. So it's not even just the guys on campus; it's the guys off campus too.
I went to school in Virginia, in Norfolk, bro. So I know, like those Navy, Army dudes. You see, they all drive the same cars. They all had Chargers and Magnums.
Facts. That's what I had. I had a Charger.
Shorty. It's the Navy dude. It's the Army dude. So I know.
That's
sure. Ennis, what is considered a high body count for a man?
I'm gonna say similar to what I said for the women, anything above 10, because it's funny. I think about early in the year or something. I was just sitting here just contemplating, because I think I heard an online conversation, a similar conversation to this, and I was trying to recollect, who I got to experience, and thankfully it's not that high. So my body count is relatively low, and so I'm just thinking of myself, and if you above 15, yeah, whatever, man. I'm not even gonna try to argue you down. It's just that's just what you saw fit. It's just who you are. But I guess it's part of my upbringing as well. Just more than 10, less than 15.
Okay, bet. Jaquin, what about you?
I would say 70, around that. Honestly, for the men that can do that, yes, that's what it's gonna be for but most guys, probably 20, 25, honestly.
Yeah,
that'll be my range.
Like that. Yeah, I told you there's a huge dispersion between dudes that get ass and dudes that don't get no ass. In fact, I think it's simply because in order to get regular box, if you got a girlfriend, you got to stay with her. I mean, if we're gonna really break it down, if you get a girl that's agreeable, she likes you, she's willing to have most dudes because it's slim pickings for them are just gonna stay with her and keep that girl in rotation. All right, King Spark, you got your audio straight?
Yeah. We working now.
All right. What's considered a high body count for a man?
Man, I got it's 100, man.
Yep. I think it's
Y'all talking about 10 and 12. I had 10 freshman year. That was in 99. I don't know how I should feel about myself right now. I don't know if this is a false sense of pride or what, but God.
Hey,
damn.
you know what, King Spark? I got a question because women have certain magnets, so you can actually predict how much ass a dude is getting. A dude with a certain car, trust me, a dude with a certain car is getting some ass. Do I have anybody who wants to deny that? What car do you think is most responsible? And in the chat, let me know. From an average guy, not a rich guy, not a dude over 30, but what car this dude getting ass from your time, from like back when you were, college age, 18 to 25, that time frame. For
I
me,
think it.
you had to have rims on it first off, but it was all the Dodge ones. The Magnum. If a dude had a Magnum with subwoofers, he's getting hella box. All the girls want to stand next to the car. I had a Maxima. Well, I had like foreign stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like African dudes. We like foreign cars. But I had a
Definitely the
GLK.
Maxima, bro.
Yeah, I had a Maxima black on black with 20-inch black rims.
Hey Mike, I'll
Those
Black
tell
were
one
you
or a
this.
red one, you getting it. A
Hey
black or
Mike,
red Maxima, you getting it.
oh
I,
snap! The Impala SS, or was it a Caprice on 20? Oh man.
Nah, it was the 96 Impala with the kit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like when those dudes pull up thumping their music while you trying to talk to a girl. It's like you want to end the damn conversation.
hey Mike, you forgetting about one thing though. You forgetting about us athletes, man.
Oh,
All
there you
you had
go.
to do, I
Yeah.
played football at A&T, and let me tell you something.
Okay.
They was just walking through Cooper Hall. I didn't even have to leave the
Dog.
door.
Football players got ass, and all they wore were t-shirts and
That's
basketball shorts
it.
and
That's
flip
it.
flops all day.
That's all we
Let me tell
needed.
you something. I told y'all about the story, right? In the football dorm, we had a wall. So we had a wall hidden in somebody's room where you just knock on it. They know what you're coming for. So if you out here feeling a chick like that, you're literally going around the wall to see who she hit before. That's how notorious the football players were. If you think this girl is good stuff, and like literally they will put like head, ass. One dude put video. It's like, you got a video? Oh no, I can't date her, dog. Like, so it was all football players. Beware. I feel like before you ask a girl what kind of dessert she like in college, you need to ask her if she smashed a football player or how many. It's
As an
important for you.
athlete, you automatically get clout. It's just natural, I guess. Hard to explain.
All right, Trey. So Trey said this is interesting. I want to hear this. Trey said
Yes,
one for a woman. What about
one
a man?
for. There's no such thing. No such thing as a high body count for a man. And,
Ooh.
and I know there are people in the chat probably gonna go nuts about that. Well, why is it one way for a woman? Why is it another way for a man? Well, we're not the same. We have different sexual strategies. Everything's different for a man and a woman. So for me, for men, no, you're pretty much doing what you biologically programmed to do. There's a reason why your sperm regenerates. You're just doing what you were programmed to do. And the other part of this is that men are typically do the inverse. So women will lie about having a lower body count, but there are a lot of guys who lie about having a higher body count. So even the men aren't telling the truth. You know what I
Yep,
mean? In some
that's true.
cases. So that's another reason why the high body count conversation from men doesn't matter, because the guys aren't even telling the truth. They'll say they have 30, 40, 50 bodies, and the number might actually be 6, somewhere in that range. But for me, no,
Mhm.
there's no number for a man.
Indeed, I like that. CEO, you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
All right. What's considered a high
Can you hear
body
me?
count for a man? Yep, we can hear you.
I really don't think that there's a specific number, but I believe it's more like when it gets to a point where you can't pursue your own goals and objectives, where it's affecting your life and the women are all you're about, and that's all you're doing. You're not able to actually pursue what you really need to be doing as a man. The women are preoccupying all your time, your free time, all your resources. That's when it becomes. Other than that, I don't think high numbers apply to men. As long as it's not affecting your hustle and you're still handling your business, I don't think it really applies to us.
I like that. So if he's not out here chasing tail and the tail just happens to find him and fall in his lap, then stop. Don't keep count. Don't keep score.
I mean, as long as he ain't got a task list to do today, but if a female shows up, now all of a sudden he gonna have to catch up tomorrow. Like, it's not distracting him from actually handling his business. As long as he's mature enough to handle that. Like, it don't matter what he do. Just make sure
You
you're getting
know,
your goals accomplished in a reasonable amount of time and shit. That is.
indeed, indeed. So I think I have a formulated answer to this statement because we hear this a lot, right? Because I guess we all said women take no responsibility or accountability for their own actions, right? So y'all out here, I guess, making 304s and bragging. Here's the thing. Here's my newly formed opinion on this. There is no shortage, or their hoes actually serve a great purpose in society. I know it sounds like I'm trying to be funny, but there have always been hoes in society. We just never expected women to present themselves outwardly as hoes. Men know when they're dealing with hoes. We deal with them on purpose because we still believe virtuous women exist. So the question then becomes, why are you out here parading yourself around like a hoe and not a valuable woman? I'm telling you, y'all are acting like women are just robots out here laying on their back at the behest of men. Men have always indulged with hoes, especially when they're trying to court the woman they want. This woman's going to serve my needs for a time. I'm not going to take her serious. If every dude that's married right now could get on here and be like, while I was trying to treat my wife correctly, I was splooging to some other woman's face, they're going to be like, yeah, I was doing that. Stop it with this, man. Hoes have always existed. They serve a great purpose. They're called holdovers. You going to hold me over while I court the right one. All right. Cooking, sir. What's going on? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. What is considered a high body count for a man?
I mean, honestly, I would say the double digits, to be honest. Biblically, and from my spiritual mind, I would say, well, one, same thing for a woman. But honestly, man, I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I've been on a lot of panels. I never gave close to what my real number is, but I'm in the hundreds, man. And when you're in the hundreds, it's only like 10 different types at best. So if you get that 10 different types, there's no reason to keep doubling, tripling, and multiplying that up.
Okay. Cali Bev, what's considered high for a man?
I would say if you're in your 20s, I would say about 10 to 15.
Or what about the 30s? There's a lot of single men out here, especially black men.
Then I would say 15 to 20. If
You
you're in your
know,
30s.
okay, as unrealistic as that sounds, for the men that can get asked, the reason why their numbers are astronomically high, and yes, I said 100 plus, but like I told y'all before, I know 200, I know 300. If you are going to stay single, ladies and gentlemen, the more once you pop, you're not gonna stop. This like celibacy thing that people pretend they're doing, it's not real. Once you have sex, you're gonna keep having it. You're gonna keep going into age, like you know what I'm saying. So that's why even a woman who's 35 that says she got 40, you got to understand, like, dude, even if you sleep with, if you're doing the 90-day rule, as they like to say, that's why I don't understand why they open their mouth and said that. You get multiple dudes in your DMs, waiting 90 days to have sex with each of them. Girl, girls have multiple dudes in rotation now.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody got a lot of bodies if you single in your 30s. That's the key reason I decided to be like, I'm going to jump my ass out this market now, because if I go any further, I ain't going to trust women. I'm not going to trust that I'm going to find a wife that's 30 if I'm 30, because she's definitely going to have hella bodies. I'm not going to trust that I'm going to find a chase woman at 35 if she's 35. Then I'm going to have to do the thing women don't like and go all the way back to 20-something just to get a girl that ain't been ran through like that, even though some of them been ran through, but definitely not as much as you at 35. Because you got nothing but time now. You used to have school in the way and all this type of stuff. You got nothing but time. You can get how long does a period last? 4 days? You could be getting it the other 24 days out of the month. Yeah. All right.
See, my thing is,
Mike,
I just
Mike.
chose that number just because, if you just got community peen and you slinging it around everywhere, just how I connect the dots in my head is you can't seem to just have sex with one person. So I wouldn't want to deal with that,
But Mike, hear this. So you was like Kappa or whatever, using sorority, yeah?
Whoa.
Using I mean,
Fraternity.
Oh boy.
Dang, he said he was
Oh
in the
boy.
sorority.
Oh
Nah,
boy.
ain't you an
I
ice cold
mean,
Oh
brother,
man.
Trigger
say he
Mike?
You
was in the
said the
You
wrong. You said
sorority.
the
A5A,
wrong
right?
fraternity, and then you said a
that,
He's
that,
the
sorority. Oh
that,
my
wrong one.
goodness.
And then he
what,
said I was in a
A5A?
And
sorority.
then you said he was in a sorority. Oh my
The
goodness.
gap.
Yeah. I'm an alpha man.
Alpha,
Trigger Mike,
Alpha,
an ice cold
and
brother
then we go
from the
down to King Spark.
A5A.
We go down to King Spark. King Spark. He was a football player. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
So I hear the guys that like talking about like the high body counts. They're like they're in these like certain clubs of guys that really do these things. I wasn't in that club, So basically, I grew up in the island. I sailed. I was a sailor. I just did different stuff. Then I got into cycling. I just did different stuff. When I went back home to my little island and tried to date some of the girls, one of the girls said to me like, "Oh, you don't even look like you date black girls." I was like, "What?" So for me, it was a struggle to even like really you know, get in the game of being in the market. So I'm speaking for all those guys out there that, they ain't out there slanging their buddies. And it seems like we get on these panels and we talk. We just seem to be talking about one demographic of guys and one demographic of people. So just to speak to those guys that aren't out there hitting it like that. And we know that they're out there because Kevin Samuels used to run the numbers down and talk about them. So we have to like, you know, when some people say like, oh, I can't believe like, men of this and men of that, they all got like 30 or 40, or I can't believe, your numbers are so low. It is what it is. Everyone ain't out there, you know, at the shooting from the 3-point line and hitting on that. So
Gotcha.
No, you absolutely right. I mean, everybody's kind of speaking from life experience, I think,
yeah,
Right.
and it's just like it just depends on what kind of life you had. And like, it's a lot of people like you probably never been to jail either, right?
no.
See, that's what I'm saying. So it's like you either out there going or you ain't. You know what I mean? It's just life experience, bro. It's
Yeah,
just life experience.
so you just definitely come at it a little, and you approach it slightly different. Like you have a different outlook, you have a different feel for the women that you meet. For you just have it's a slightly different feel. Like
Yeah, because
uh,
when I was honestly, man, when I was in middle school, right in Okinawa, I remember. Shout out to my homeboy Sean Fields. We used to call him White Chocolate. I distinctly remember a day that we sat there and we were just going through how many girlfriends we had. Now this wasn't body count because we wasn't having sex. This was finger popping stage. But I remember from then it was we
Keep it
was
stupid.
we actually was going back and forth trying to figure out who had the most girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? Like who went out with the most girls, that we used to call it back in the day. So yeah, it's just a life experience, bro.
yeah, definitely, I hear that. And I sat in the barbershops with the guys. I heard the stories. I seen the girls. I seen. I've been one of those guys on lookout for somebody. Yo, the shorty coming. Let me know so I could get rid of so and so. So I know how it runs. But
And that's commendable too, right there. That's commendable.
so.
You gotta look out. Everybody need to look out, man. Shit. That's commendable.
My high school boyfriend's lookout. He let me in, and I caught him in the bed with another chick, and they
Let me
called
let
Captain
me ask
Police
you.
on
Let me
me.
ask you. Did he try to get with you afterwards?
What my high school sweetheart, my ex boyfriend?
No, the
Yeah.
dude that let you in.
Oh no, he had a chick in his room too.
Oh no, no, we ain't friends no more. On
Yeah,
God,
what kind of dude is this, man?
we
Jeez.
not friends no more.
Shit.
Yeah,
So
he
some
let
dudes be
me in.
dirty
He
macking
knew he
like
was
that.
wrong though.
All right, bet.
It's I
He
just had a
wanted
bunch
dirty,
of
dirty,
That mean that
dirty
that
Mac.
that means he wanted the girl that your boy was smashing. Your boyfriend was
Yeah,
smashing. That's what
a
that
dirty
nah,
means.
cause
Mac
she
in
was
one on
busted.
one.
Nah, she was busted. The dude that the chick that he was with looked better than the chick that my
That don't mean
boyfriend
he
was
ain't
with.
want her. That don't mean he
first of
ain't
all,
want her.
he wanted
She
you.
busted, but she probably had a nice body.
He wanted
Exactly.
you.
All right,
Yeah, they called
All right.
Campus
So what's
Police on
next,
me.
Mike?
all right. So I'm trying to get this question formulated through a scenario. All right, fellas, you're at a picnic or a family picnic with your new wife, and your cousin walks over to you and meets your wife, and he has that look on his face like, Oh, hey, what's up? After the picnic, he says, since y'all are fam and y'all are favorite cousins, he feels like he needs to tell you that he was a part of a group of dudes that ran a train on your wife
Oh, get out of
in
here.
college. What are your thoughts
Come on,
immediately
Mike.
after that?
Like,
This
Listen,
is crazy.
it's not crazy. It's not crazy because we want to know just how much these men's psyche can handle this type of thing, right? We don't care, right? Women think we don't care about body count and that body count shouldn't matter. And it's not even just body count, it is the way it happens. Men, Mr. Rich made a very good point. He said that married women or previously married women have a far better chance of getting remarried because we just assume she was with that one man. So if we can make it make sense in our mind that this woman is a serial monogamist, she stays down with one dude, even if she's been in 3 relationships, a dude will accept. If she's like 35, 40 years old, a dude would accept the fact that she got 3 bodies, or at least, right? But if you hear that your new wife had a train ran on her with 5 dudes and one of them was your cousin, what's going through your head? King Spark, go ahead.
Hey, Trigger, can we get some context? How new is the marriage? Are we at annulment stage or I have to
Brand
actually
new,
get a divorce?
brand new,
Okay, I
brand
can still
new.
get an annulment. All right, got it.
That's it. But 1 year, 1 year.
I'm gonna answer this question, but this is why I want to say this first. This is why it's important that you travel. Okay, you need to move around. You don't need to be in the same town all your damn life. Okay, just I'll let you put two and two together on that one. Um, I would be devastated. I'd be devastated. Now, am I leaving her? No, but we moving. Shit, man. Something got to give. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. I can't. That's a train. Everybody here. Tag team. Switch. All of that. Like, nah. I can't do it. That's devastation, man. I'm on
Yep.
suicide watch for a month. Just put it that way.
Deletion watch, deletion watch. All right, let me read these super chats before we get to the next person. My man Granville says she got 0 bodies or it's 100 bodies. Simple. Hunt Inc. $5. You never want to be the only dude in the room that doesn't know what kind of chick you with. That is facts. King Steven, $5 says 7 or 6 is cool, but at my age of 42, yep. Easy beats, $5. I appreciate that. Original everything else is carbon copy, $10. It's so sad. A lot of our men are so used to trash women and their behavior that they don't even appreciate or what a virgin. Ruckus, $5. Ideally, no more than one. In today's age, any more than 2 is too much. Over 3, you can smell it on her by her certain behavioral patterns she exhibits. What do y'all think about that? I think that's kind of
I
crazy.
agree.
I think I'm telling you that arrogance when it comes to sex in general. Start talking to these women. It means they got a lot of bodies and they don't want to be shamed for it. It comes from that. The real Pookie, $5. Appreciate that. How you have a baby with someone who is hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Here's the catch. You had a baby with her though. Make it make sense, my guy. The real Pookie, $5. Hundreds of thousands in debt. Can't marry. Take a baby instead. Original $2 says y'all have or will gonna have daughters. Karma. Hey, real quick.
True that. True that.
Another one of my roommates was a Kappa. Slaying them. Slaying them. One girl got pregnant, like literally it's always the one you would never, right? Twin daughters on his ass. He had to drop out of school. He had to drop out of school and join the military, take care of them babies. His mama wasn't having it. Twin daughters. I was like, yeah, bruh, that's what you get. All right. Who's next?
Brother Payne.
yeah.
Brother Payne.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, would you
Listen, the
care if
first
your
thing I
new
was,
wife got a train ran on her in college?
yeah. But first thing I want to know, you see, when you put the cousin in the mix, if this is my cousin, I would have
First
had.
cousin?
Well, what my saying is, I would have expected him to tell me that before I married this chick. You know,
Facts.
so I would be mad at him for why would you let me marry her? And
No,
then
it's the first time seeing her. It's first time seeing her.
Okay,
That's
so
all
I
I
mean,
said.
then he
It's a
wasn't a
first
close
round.
cousin then. But
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. I would be devastated that she was that much of a freak. Even I have my limits. I don't know what I'd be able to do. It's easy to say I would just like leave her. Um, but I mean, it's such a hypothetical situation. I don't know, but I think maybe an annulment would be in order. But if she was, especially if the story told me, if they had like she was doing threesomes and like, people were fussing here and there, and, I would say, wait a minute. I said, even I can't handle that shit, man. So I would probably get an annulment if we were just married.
Indeed. Ennis, would
Nah,
you
I would.
care if your new wife got a train ran on her in college?
What a
Nope,
question, man. It's
nope,
crazy.
nope. That's painful, man. That's painful. That's painful. That's painful. And to speak on to Brother Payne's comment. I was talking to a good friend of mine. Like we grew up like, and we actually got into this conversation like talking about like a woman's past and stuff. And so I told him, I said, yo, but if I knew that Shorty was, she just was around town, she ain't no good and stuff, and you wouldn't want me to tell you. He's like, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So, and I didn't understand that. Like, like if I'm about to get into something with somebody and something's up and we boys and we've been boys forever, just come and say what's up to me. But he said, like, he was like, I don't care. I don't want to know. Da, 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 da. I was like, it's one thing if she had like 2 or 3 people she'd been with in the last year, as opposed to like 200 or 300 people over her, her sexual history. Like that's 2 different things. I can understand you. But it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't, I don't understand how brothers don't want
To know.
they, yeah, just don't tell me. It's like basically I seen her, I in love with her, and that's the end of it. I'm gonna roll with it. So, you can't defer me basically. So, but anyway, to answer the question, nah, that would be a bit much for me. I don't think I can deal with that. And what would I do? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's like I probably just leave the country, just go somewhere else, just leave them, whatever. Just what
You'd be
happens to him.
destroyed after that. Like,
Yeah.
come on now. You wouldn't know what to do.
So you invested, you got married. How much did the wedding cost? And you got a new house and all of this stuff, cars and.
Man, she pregnant too? No.
Oh man, she's pregnant too. You added that one in there.
Probably, man. What? You done killed your investment. You didn't kill the investment, but you get what I'm saying. So
Yeah, bro. I don't know.
I don't know where Mike get these questions from, man. But anyway,
personally, I'll be so heartbroken if my cousin came and told me that. Like, yeah, me and my boys, we like smashed her, like way before y'all got together. It was the disrespect, the hurt. I wouldn't know about it too. No, I would have to get like a divorce. I have to explain to her why. Like that's emotionally wouldn't be able to handle that. If being honest with ourselves, with myself at least.
Wife school. It's on you, wife school.
I thought this was for the men. Your new wife.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
My fault. You're absolutely right.
Stop trying to trap me, Trey. But
No. I just didn't want to jump in front of you. That's all.
I think it's unfortunate, but that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people, sometimes they make mistakes, like these extreme hypothetical questions. I mean, if she was just being, wild at that time, and then she, maybe felt like this is not the way to be. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a chance to change, but if you're willing to accept her now instead of her past, and if you didn't ask her those questions, maybe that particular train was involved in the 3 or 4 bodies, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That depends on the man and how much he can deal with it. Because I know men, once they get something in their mind, I don't think they let anything go. So that's up to him.
I say for the cousin as well too. I was just thinking about it. he better get a head start or something, like, just like vacate the premises or something, because
Why?
his
What did he
his
do?
life could be on the line after that. I mean, like,
What
you gonna tell me
for
this
do for
now?
do for doing something that he didn't know was going to
It
affect
it,
him
it
later
don't
on
it
in
don't
life?
matter. It don't
If
matter. It
you didn't
don't.
know y'all got
You're
together,
human.
Nah, cause see, the
You're
cousin
human.
being messy. The
You're
cousin being
human,
messy
man.
by telling you that junk, and it happened
Yeah,
10,
that's
15
true.
years
The
ago
cousin sucks.
anyway.
You mean he's being
Yeah.
a family member and telling me what I should
No,
know?
no, he's
After,
being
that's
messy.
messy.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
know he
How
he
is
likes
he
to tell
being messy by
details.
telling the truth?
wait. After
He's
after you
telling you
got
some
married,
junk that has no bearing on y'all
yeah.
relationship now. He told you
Yeah,
some junk that
exactly.
happened 15 years ago.
So my
What
cousin
Exactly.
should
does
so my
matter?
cousin should let me walk around looking like a fool?
Nah, it's
What? How many was the train on? Was it the cousin and 30 other dudes? Then yeah,
It
that's like
don't
a big
matter.
amount
A
of people. But
train is a
if you
train
if
is
you
a
in a
train.
if you in a city, if you in a city, 5 dudes probably know who your girl is like that. It's not. If I was the cousin, I would have kept that to myself. Because what's the
yeah.
likelihood of you running into them 5 dudes?
Did all
Yeah.
The
five
only
of
reason
these
why
did
you
all
ran. The
five of
only
these
reason
dudes
why
hit
you
her
ran
at the
into your
same time?
cousin. The
Did
only
all
reason why
five of
you ran
these
into
dudes
your
hit her at the
cousin.
same time though?
The only reason why you ran into your cousin is because it's your cousin. That's it.
And my cousin did what he was supposed to do. He told me the truth about my girl.
Yeah,
But
he
He
Trey,
should
if
have
did
did
he
that
you
did
Being
exactly
messy
what he's
prior.
supposed to do.
Prior.
Trey, if you was the
prior.
cousin, Trey,
Prior.
If you was the cousin, would
Tell
you
me,
would you
Kelly.
have said something?
Hell yeah, I would tell him. I'd pull him to the side
Really?
right then and there and be like, listen, bruh, about 10 years ago, yeah, nah, you need to let that go. I would tell
Yeah,
him straight up, need to let her go.
y'all,
I have
y'all
a
are out
duty as
here.
a family member to tell him the truth.
You
Y'all
messy
out
too.
here letting
Yeah.
women
Always.
answer questions about this. Come on now. You know they going Did I hear wife school say the word mistake?
I said
Did I hear you say that word while I was
we all
tinkling?
make mistakes. Come
A
on.
train?
And sex
We
and
all
A
make
marriage.
train
look,
is
Yeah, that
not a
let
was
me
a
show
mistake.
mistake.
you.
That
Hold on,
was
hold on,
a
hold on.
bad mistake to make.
Hold on. This is
A
what
bad
y'all do.
choice. A mistake.
This is what y'all do. Bad choice, my ass. There is no more clarity, no more thought processing that I could think of a woman about to take 5 Johnsons and know all of them dudes are waiting outside.
And
Okay?
Mike, let me tell you before the train departs. Let me tell you how that happens. Okay, there's a phone call that's made, and it says Sherry calls in. And she said, "Hey, what y'all doing?" Like, I'm chilling, but it's me and a few of the fellas is
Oh yeah.
over
Oh
here.
yeah.
And then she says, "Oh, well, that's cool. I'm still coming." That's it. That ain't no
Well,
mistake, hope.
no,
That's
no, you're being
premeditated murder.
you're being a bit vague, bro. You're
Oh
being a bit
God.
vague. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've actually always been shy, and this is what my wife calls it. I've always been shy about group sex only because accusations and stuff. I don't never want to be one of them people. But some of my homeboys were hella smooth with it. When the girl propositions them, and they just happen to be with the homies, yeah, if you ready to take all the homies down, and the girl be like, okay, I'll bring a friend. Like that's why I don't like, dudes know in the chat, they'll tell you. Dudes know a lot of these dudes getting accused. It's like the girl either changed her mind after the fact, but these girls are literally the dude will say straight up, if you want to take the homies down, then cool, you can come over, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm still coming. Ain't no mistake. Wife, school, I can't believe you. Talk about
Hey,
she made a
hey,
Hey, we all make
mistake.
mistakes.
Trigger, let me give my answer to this because
So funny.
what I find interesting is that if I married this woman, there's no way in the world that this hasn't come up in this vetting process. At some point in time, I've asked a question along the lines of, "What's the craziest sexual experience you've had?" Or at some point, I've asked this question, and if she omitted to tell me that she had a train ran on her 10 years ago, then she's a liar,
Yeah.
which is grounds for divorce, in my opinion. And I'm gonna tell you
That's
something else.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you,
I
and I'm gonna tell
agree.
you something else. I can be a petty dude. I'm also going to sue her, and I'm going to sue her for emotional distress because of what she
Facts.
caused me.
I was going to say the same
Be,
thing. Stop stealing my
because I,
bars.
my bad cooking.
Y'all just
I just
petty.
happened to go before you, bro. That's all. but
No, I gotta
but
cut
yeah,
you.
I'm gonna sue her for emotional distress because I dedicated my life to you, and you omitted something that was important. You didn't tell me the truth. So that means you lied. I'm gonna sue you. Now I may not win. It's civil court, but that's not the point. I want to send a message that it's not okay for you to do what you did.
Bruh, you are a
Man, if I
savage.
don't win, I'm so petty. I'm gonna bring it back up every what? It's like 3 to 5 years. You can try
Yep.
to bring it up
And
unless
I'm gonna
they
try
say,
again.
yeah, unless they say it's they dismiss
Do
it with
you
prejudice.
understand that
Unless it's
what y'all are
dismissed with
saying?
prejudice, I'm gonna bring it back up 3 to 5 years just so it be in the paper, so everybody know you was a hoe.
Oh no.
See,
So
the
it's over.
thing is,
It's
I
over.
love it. I love it. Listen. This is the shame we're talking about. Women won't change their behavior until men start doing stuff like that. Because what y'all are gonna say is, y'all some bitch ass niggas. Oh, well, I guess we bitch
I
ass
agree
niggas.
with
Then.
this technique. It's cool. No violence involved, no murdering, which usually would happen if a guy found out he straight up kill his girl. So I like this technique better.
A good comparison for like women to understand it better, it would be like if men did homosexual activities in the past.
Oh my God.
That's
Yeah,
how men view it.
that's a great, yeah, absolutely.
A train is like, it's one of the most wildest things your girl could do if she ever did that. I had to ask that like 5 months in with my ex. I had to make sure. You know,
I'm
it
telling
was a
you,
bit.
Trigger Mike, I'm gonna be in that courtroom crying. She hurt me. Oh, my feelings. Oh, I can't believe I loved her to death. I would have done anything for her. I'm gonna get that money one way or another.
man, y'all bold for the questions that y'all ask, man. I ain't gonna lie. I can't. My little heart can't even take all them damn kind of questions y'all didn't ask.
I mean, to be
I
honest,
can't. I can't.
if
Honestly, I can't
so
take it.
if
I
we're being
can't take
real
it.
though, King Spark, for you to go ahead and marry this woman, you already got a lot invested in her.
That's what I'm
To hear
saying.
this to a man, like it's often been said that men love harder than women do.
We
So
do. I
and you had a
believe.
picture showing off your new wife. That's why I put it out that way. Like, hey, what's up, cuz? This is my new wife. He like, hey, come here, bro, because you probably gonna find out at some point. And that's the part. That's the reason I said cousin. So Callie Bev said, why is he telling you all that? Well, what if he doesn't and she tells you? Did anybody think about that? What if it comes out another way? So that's why your cousin gonna speak up. Like, look, God damn, I don't want to say. Listen, man, I don't want to say this, but just in case you don't think something funny going on, if she decide to tell you, and you know how women are, it ain't gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. Y'all gonna get in an argument. She gonna be like, that's why your cousin and his homeboys. What? What?
Hey,
So we gonna
some things are better left unsaid, man. I'm not even gonna lie, man. Like some things, like I had a situation. It's not nowhere extreme as that one, but I had a homeboy, right? This my partner, right? And I was in the bar one night, and I knew this other dude because we were all kind of in the same type of business. And this other dude I knew, he was more of my acquaintance though. And he was telling me, yeah, I got my shorty coming through, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. His shorty was my homeboy's gal. So I'm like, oh shit. So of course when I looked at her, she looked at me. We all knew what time it was. But honestly, man, I didn't go back and tell my homeboy because he had been with her at that point going on 5 years. I'm like, if you don't know your old lady, man, it ain't my place to tell you.
indeed. All right,
That's just me.
let me get the next question going. We're gonna start with Jaquin. In fact, no, we're gonna start with wife school because the ladies didn't really get to go on this. What are some indicators that a girl for you has a high body count? Help us out, wife school. Your name is wife school, so you teach on this. You can advise on this. Wife school, are you there? All right, we'll go to Callie Bev first. Callie Bev, you there? Oh, so
Yeah,
you're
I'm
not gonna be
here.
honest with us. You're not gonna be honest with us. What are some indicators that a girl has a high body count?
Mm.
What? In fact, nope. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna let you terrorize us today. If you were coaching your son, because you got sons, what would you tell your son how to look out for a girl and see if she has a high body count?
Uh, mm, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Aside from just her having like a bunch of dudes' phone numbers in her phone or something like that, I don't know.
That's her
These are the
sister code, man. She ain't gonna
I
come off
mean,
that
you see it.
information.
You
She
see
no,
it
ain't
in the
coming
back.
off that information.
You
these
see
are the
it in the back.
conversations we don't have.
She
Oh my
ain't gonna
goodness.
tell. She ain't coming off
In
that
fact, that's
info.
what white school doing right now. They texting each other like, "How much you gonna
Say it
say,
again.
girl?
What?
How much you gonna say?" I'm
I
not
had to
giving
go get
out
the door. I am so
the
sorry.
super duper
Y'all
secret.
said something about me. What?
I'm sorry, I didn't
White
hang around a
school.
bunch of hoes, so I don't know what hoes do like that. King
I
Spark, Smarty.
I didn't
we
say
hear
nothing
you.
about no. Whoa. I didn't say nothing about no hoes. I said sister code. I didn't say
You
hoes.
said that like I'm supposed to have the answer, and because I don't have the answer, that means it's some kind of sister code, and I don't want to give up no information. I'm sorry, I don't have the information, sir. I don't have all
Richland
the
don't
Well,
answers,
have information.
Sway.
I'm
What's
just
the
saying
what?
if you. I'm just saying
What's
if
the
you
question?
did that, you probably wouldn't come be forthright with it, because
Why
it's
wouldn't I
about the
be forthright
sister.
with my own son?
Because the sister code. No, are you talking
What
about in the
sister
scenario
code?
with your son? Okay. My bad. Hey,
What's the question?
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
I don't have all the answers, Sway.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me, darling.
Okay.
All right.
What's the question?
What would you tell your son are some indicators that a girl has a high body count?
Ooh, okay. So right now we've changed up. Sorry, I have to go get my children. So what I've done, which is probably bad, but I told them physical aspects of women, and so there's a song by Nelly, apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. So I
With
told him, I
the
said, look out for
fur.
a
Yeah,
woman that
you
looks
know.
like that, to make it like fun. So like sometimes children learn by associating things with music. So I told him like, look out for the woman with the apple bottom jeans and the boots with the fur, and don't stuff like that, because she's gonna be dressed tight and everything, not
Hmm.
modest. So while he's 9 years old, so I try to keep it G-rated for now. But I would definitely tell him
He
more
needs
things to
X
look at
rated.
as he gets older.
He needs X rated. That's the only way they learn. X rated teaching.
Hmm.
Explicit.
Mike, I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be out, man. Thank you for having me on the panel, man.
All right, no doubt. Anytime, bro. All right. So let's go to CEO. CEO, you there?
Yeah, what's up?
What are some indicators that your girl has a high body count? A girl, a woman.
Like as far as like initially when she pursues you, like she's the aggressor.
Yep,
She
for
hints
sure.
toward she's like not only is she like the one that's constantly kind of like bringing it to you, almost like trying to spit game on you, but she's actually talking in about sex while she's doing it or making it sexual while she's doing it. Um, if the first night, you know what I'm saying, like as soon as we meet and we get back to her spot and my spot, she's ready to fuck. I'm like, I'm not the finest man in the world, so I'm sure she's done that before, a few times. She's comfortable with gunning niggas down, you know what I'm saying? So that's the indicator. If while you with if you while you with her, if she happens to tell a lot of stories, if she has preferred sexual positions, like you know what I'm saying, like she wants to try it this way, she wants to do it this way, I mean, I can go on list, man. And it might just be my paranoia, but there's a whole lot of things that just automatically indicate a hoe to me.
Hmm. I will say that's facts. It's a lot of things. Jaquin, you there? All right, we're gonna go to King Spark.
Um, indicators that you got to bust down. That's the question.
Yep.
Um,
You ain't even know it.
I would say, if that fellatio is too good. If you get that guac 5,000, not the 3,000. I'm talking about the 5,000. If you get that 5,000 and you find yourself cursing and all of that, if you find yourself saying "bitch, I kill you," that would be your number one indicator right there. That'll be your number one indicator.
I used to think that wasn't true, but there are, because there's so much access to see how this stuff is done, right? And like I said, most women have a mode of behavior that makes you classify them, put them in a category. Like, nah, she a good girl, man. I ain't gonna do it like that. I'm gonna, wait. I'm gonna let her let me know she ready. All that type of stuff. And you thought maybe you put her in that conservative category where you ain't gonna turn her out or stuff like that. And she give you that gawk gawk, and you like, yo, what is this? Because I've been able to classify the ladies correctly to where most of my life, but you have a few miscategorizations.
That's
Where you
funny.
like, where you learned this? The hell is this? Oh
Serious,
man.
very serious. It's very serious.
All right, we're
Like you
gonna
do
go to
this too good.
Yep. Jaquin, what are some indicators that a woman has a high body count?
Behavior, attitude, who she hangs around, if she's a party girl, um, friends, exes. That's everything I look at. If
Hey,
I,
I've listened to various rappers throughout my life, and I've heard like more than a dozen rappers say something to the effect of what you just said. If your homegirl a hoe, you an honorary hoe. I've heard a rapper say that before. Like, how are you going to hang around with such an unsavory person and expect people not to perceive you that way? So I think that's very telling what you just said. All right, Mr. Rich, what you got?
I never really, thought about it from that standpoint. It's I've been married so long. The bedroom action. Everybody wants their woman to be a freak in the bedroom. You just gotta trust that she's a little more outgoing with you as opposed to like it's some previous guy. So I never really thought about it. I mean, if I was getting the benefits of whatever the hell she was doing, I never really said, "Oh shit, man, where did she learn this shit?" I said, because I didn't want to, 'cause why would I worry? Because you start worrying about that and you go down that path,
Yeah,
ain't no coming back.
true.
So you just accept it as it is. Now, some of the other indicators, like my man Jaquin talked about, secret phone calls, how she moves around other men, does she like to try to make you jealous and all that kind of stupid shit.
Hmm.
I never had to deal with that, but those would be indicators that when she sees a guy, she's like kind of swooning and shit. When she sees somebody that's her type, you can pick some of those things up. But I never had to deal with that. So
Bet. What? No, white school went. Trey.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think the indicators match up. Maybe in the 1940s when you saw a woman, she had a skirt over her knee or something like that. That might, what I mean, that might be an indicator. But in 2023, man, they're all dressing alike, they're all acting alike, they're all hanging out alike. I've seen conservative women that were busted open. I've seen non-conservative women that had a low body count. You just don't know. I will say this though: if I were going to choose, I would pay attention to who she hangs around. And
Yep.
I do believe in birds of a feather flock together. I do believe in that. So that would be one of the indicators that I would pay attention to is, she's around a bunch of, girls who are always at the club on the weekends and at the bars at the weekends. And, you know what I mean? They're twerking on Instagram and all that stuff. And those are her friends. I would just naturally, even though it's unfair, I would naturally assume that she's a part of that group and she does what they do because that's who her friends are. But even still, that may or may not be true. But that would be the only indicator that I would probably really look at.
Then that was a good answer, sir. What you got?
Man, just so happened I'm gonna hop off after I say this. So but hey, I know there's gonna be a lot. I'll say honestly, how they respond like to anything. If they're combative, they're usually a hoe. The more combative they are, the more their body count is. Um, how long their nails are.
oh
The
my god,
longer the nails, the more hoe they is. Um, if they wear
Eyelashes? What about eyelashes?
I'm about to hit the eyelashes too. And the bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. So
Ooh.
so
Yo, is he giving us Wu Tang knowledge right now?
No, he is not.
it's facts. It's
Yeah, I
facts.
was
That's
gonna
why
say,
she got
what if
mad.
they're married
I
women who
told her
dress like that?
friends, it's all right. Your friends still like you, even though you know she a hoe. You know she a hoe. You ain't gonna leave your man around her. So
Ooh.
and weave. She got too many weaves, so weave is crazy. Shoot, weave it all. You can't believe it. You can't believe she not a hoe. If she wears leggings as pants, because those are stockings. Those are stockings. She wear leggings as pants, she's a hoe. If she only wears skirts and never wear dresses, she's a hoe.
What is going on?
If she wear sneaker boots, she's a hoe.
Oh,
If she wears Uggs,
This is
9
all
times out of 10,
arbitrary
she's a hoe.
nonsense.
not us.
So basically,
This is arbitrary, lazy,
If
nonsensical
she
mess.
wears pajama pants out of the house, she's a hoe.
Oh my God, that's so
I'm
funny.
telling you.
He's making determinations off of leggings, calling them stockings when leggings and stockings are two different things.
Actually, they're of the
Stop,
same
you a married
family if
woman.
you do
Stop
the
taking
history.
up for the hoes.
You don't got to do no real research. Do a simple Google search. Do a simple Google
Leggings
search.
are not stockings.
Leggings
Leggings
are
are thicker.
fitness stockings, and if you do a
Nope.
simple Google search, you'll know that. But I
sir,
didn't interrupt
sir,
you.
But you know,
sir,
I'm a girl and I wear leggings,
She
and
combative.
I used to wear stockings, so I think I would know the difference
Sir,
between leggings and
sir,
stockings.
sir,
Hit dog
sir.
will
What
holler.
about yoga pants? What about yoga pants?
Oh, I'm about to get that too.
I was like, let's
Yoga
let him keep
pants,
going.
and she don't do yoga. She's a hoe. It's simple. It's simple stuff. If she's
That's so
always
Yeah, he's making
funny.
it. It's real
biker
simple.
pants or biker
Like
shorts,
you work
and
at the
she ain't never
hospital,
you ain't never
nurses?
seen her on no bicycle, she's a hoe.
Wait.
Sorry,
Repeat
Mike.
that one. Repeat that one.
Work at the hospital as a nurse.
Oh, if she's a
High
nurse,
percentage.
most
Oh
of the
yeah.
time she's a hoe. A CNA, she down to lay, she's a
Any
hoe.
any government job?
Most of them, they're getting ran through. They're getting ran through. I'm just
So,
being.
you know
So
what?
what have we learned here?
I got hundreds of bodies. I should know.
Damn.
What have we
It's a
learned?
certain
What have
aim
we
that you
learned?
go after. You say, "Oh, she a CNA? Oh, okay. Oh, she a baby mama? Oh, okay. She fat, but she call herself thick. Only thing thick is her ankles. Oh, okay. Oh, she says I'm slim thick. Any chick that say she's slim thick, she's a hoe.
Facts.
She's a
Now,
hoe.
is this like okay? So, question.
A woman who
Serious
actually
question.
is skinnier and has like, okay, well, she's thick or she's muscular, whatever. She's gonna say she has an athletic body, even if she exercises a lot or not. She'll say she have an athletic body. A woman who's a hoe wants you to only think about her sexually, so she's gonna say I'm slim, thick.
Facts.
It's those little phrases like that. Same thing. You can find out a dude a hoe. It's little phrases he's going to use or little compliments he's going to say to you. There's certain ways he say stuff. Girl, I love how them jeans sitting on you. That nigga's a hoe. There's no reason for you to think he loves you or likes you.
I like how you brought it around to the dudes just to let them know there are little cues all over.
Yes, it's cues all the way around. It's cues all the way around. Oh, you so beautiful. And you're beautiful too. You're beautiful and you're beautiful. You said the same thing twice. So you an idiot. So you a hoe. You a dumb hoe.
No, wait, sir. Sir, can I ask you a question?
Man, let Sir cook. Let Sir cook it right now.
This is a serious question though, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you taking these things as a one-to-one, or is this like a culmination of things? Like, you know how the Joker mix didn't really work until you mixed all the stuff together and then you would get poisoned and have that Joker smile on your face? Is it like that, or is it just one or two of these things and that's pretty much it?
Usually, if you got two of these things on this list, like you're usually a hoe or you're trying to be one. Like a lot of times men or women who are hoes, they practice being a hoe. And then a lot of times they'll be trying to be the nice hoe or the good hoe. Well, I ain't as bad as my homeboy, so I ain't that bad. Or I ain't as bad as my homegirl. You know, she slept with the whole football team. I slept with the soccer team. You know, I'm not that bad. You know, it's only 12 on the soccer team. You know, it's 45 on a football team, so I'm not as bad as her. No, y'all both hoes. You know what I'm saying? So it's those types of things you have to look for. A person's going to tell you usually who they are. Even Satanists believe they have to tell you before you even put God into it. A Satanist who believe in Satan he knows he has to tell you, or she has to tell you what they're going to do to you. They might add a joke or say, nah, not really. Think about it in the Bible. He said, you won't surely die. He told her exactly what God told her. And they said, you won't surely die. Nah, he playing. I'm playing. And they laugh it off. So you become the laughing stock. If you listen to her, you know she's a hoe or a liar. If you listen to him, you know he's a hoe or a liar. It's over for you. That's your fault. That sin becomes now on you. Respectfully.
Then he had to add respectfully after a whole rant that went 6 minutes. I mean, hey, spot on, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't think he left. I don't think he left no type of woman
No.
out. They all
So
sound like
I
hoes at
think
the
he
next
just
bit.
called all Western women
Shit,
hoes.
you labeled everything.
That's what it sounds like.
I think he
Right.
just
Basically,
called
all women are
Western
hoes.
women. All Western women hoes.
Well, that's the thing.
Man.
That's what they want to be. Is they think being a hoe is popular over being a wholesome woman. Before, women wanted to be wholesome. Now they just want to wholesome. Nah, they got it backwards, man.
Indeed.
Yeah, I didn't see one
I blame
lie.
Superhead.
I didn't see one lie at all.
I mean, it's hard to disagree with it when you're a man who's dated a lot of these women. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Guess you got to
All
pick
right.
you a hoe and hold on,
Get you a hoe before you hoe too much.
They be out here like, my hoe better than yours. You want to see? Give me her resume. Let me see.
You know what? There is a content there's some circles where it's like that. It's like my hoe's better than yours.
Y'all are crazy, man. Listen, fellas,
Where?
get you.
No. Wait, maybe not where you hang out, but in my lifestyle, I live in a alternative lifestyle to probably most people on this panel. So we got sex clubs over here, we got this over there, we got swingers, we got yeah, all of what you're talking about is pretty common in my life. That's my Tuesday.
That is all right. You go next. What are some common indicators, EBD? That have a high body count.
Yeah, so compared to what that rant, I mean, I really have to agree with a lot of it. But to even put a finer point on it, I wouldn't. To answer Callie Bev's point, it is kind of like more of a joker mix rather than a one-to-one. Because you can forgive a woman who just wears different earrings, every day. People mix up styles all the time. But when it comes to like a woman with a higher body count, there is a certain uniform, I feel. So we all walk the streets and navigate every day, and you can tell who's more conservative, and you can tell who's more loose by the clothes they wear, how much makeup they got on, the nails, the hair, the attitude. Because if you're looking at women who dye their hair, well, that can be that maybe one of them's a color that's more lucid than the other, right? So yeah, there are ways to tell, but I mean, in my lifestyle, it's like, well, everybody's a hoe, so he gonna be talking all day if he comes to my universe. But yeah, you can usually tell by first sight.
I'm gonna ask my husband because it's my husband department. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what you think a hoe look like? Like, what would you tell MJ what a hoe is? What a hoe look like?" I'm gonna see what he say.
Respectfully, Callie Bev, he been out the game a long time. He don't even want to answer that damn question.
Nah, he's in the public. He works in the public, so he's around younger people, so he'd be able to tell. My husband a barber.
What if his answer is like,
I take that back.
What if his answer is like, well, I'm with you, aren't I?
You know what? You know what? And what if I just had this strong feeling that you said your husband's a barber, and Sir was about to come off mute and be like, "Didn't he a hoe?"
But, yeah, that's a trick question.
Usually that's facts.
Trigger Mike. Trigger Mike.
Go ahead.
Trust me, a barber cut for a living. He used to cutting. You feel me?
I was in law enforcement. They said we all were hoes. They said all the men were hoes. They used to call us that all the time.
Yeah.
No, and firefighters too.
Barbers are like the gatekeepers of urban secrets.
Yeah, they are for real. I'm not even going front though. When we was younger, he said he wanted to open up a barbershop and name the barbershop Cut Buddies.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
I told you.
That's a pretty good idea.
That's
you just love you got him out the game. Respect these. You got out the game.
That is funny. Now that I think about it, he got a salon in there too. Because if it's just dudes in there, it's kind of sus. Cut buddies.
He don't like it, but it's a chick back there that do makeup, and then they got a lady back there that do hair too. He don't like it. He used to it being all male barbershop. That's what he liked it the most.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You actually, if it's too close, if it's not separated by a wall, I realize the conversation isn't as deep when the ladies are sitting there listening, and then they always be jumping in the damn conversation. Who the hell told y'all that this was a unisex conversation? Nah, the conversation be deep. Barbers are like hood philosophers, man. They're like hood philosophers. I love it. It was like my favorite place to be when I was a kid. All right, final thoughts. We're going to start with King Spark. What are your thoughts? Does body count actually matter?
Like I said, man, it depends on if your bodies are buried in the backyard or not. If your body's in the backyard, it's gonna matter because don't nobody want to have that hoe me round town with her on your arm and dudes is winking at her and high fiving and shit every time they see you and your old lady pull up. So if you move, then it don't, man. I would say all that matters is, man, how that woman treats you, man. If she hit all your buttons, man, if she make you feel like a king when you hit the door, man, love your hoe, man, and be happy, man.
You be giving some toxic ass advice on here.
Hey,
Talk
man,
about
that's
love
where
your
you
hoe.
at.
Oh man, the point of her being a hoe is that she gonna love somebody else too. Hope you okay with that.
Hey.
All right, Jaquin.
So yes, body count ultimately does matter for marriage purposes. Now, if it's just like casual, nah, it is what it is. But if you want a long-term relationship with the person, yeah, it does. Specifically more for women. For men, psychologically, we can handle it better. So yeah.
Indeed. EBD, what you got?
As unfair as the world is, it even though it does matter for women, it really doesn't matter that much to men, only because we gain experience off of it. For women, the reason it has more of an effect on them is because when you are having sex, the body actually changes for a woman for each man that she's had. And so it can kind of change the feeling and how she receives other men. So it matters for her, but for men, there is no physical change, no matter how many women we smash. So that's why it matters for them and not really for us. So yeah, it is going to matter, and it is one-sided, and it is unfair, but so is life. I don't get in the club for free, and I don't get my drinks paid for, but it is what it is.
Indeed. Mr. Marriage Politics and Sports, Mr. Rich.
Yeah, it matters. It matters, especially for marriage. But once you have that conversation and you're comfortable with the woman you vetted, you just got to move on. But it does matter. I just think I could discern between a 304 and a woman who's just had moderate, experience, and just got to run with it.
Indeed. Callie Bev, does body count matter? Final thoughts.
Yes, body count definitely matters, whether it be to speak to how you can sustain a relationship, as far as your reputation and as far as, your health. Body count matters all day.
Yep. All right, Trey, take us out. Does body count matter?
No. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, well, no, it doesn't matter. And I'll say it doesn't matter because I don't trust a woman to tell me the truth anyway. I don't think she's ever going to be honest enough to tell me what her actual real number is. And I'll direct your attention to the movie The Best Man. Morris Chestnut's wife was supposed to be pure, and she was supposed to be this. And come to find out, she slept with his best friend and his best man. They're never going to be honest. They're not going to tell the truth. And so why would I ever put that kind of pressure on a woman to tell me the absolute truth when I know for a fact that she's never going to? On these YouTube spaces, the popular thing to say for men is to say, yes, it matters. Yes, it matters. But when we look out into the world, into the real world here in 2023, we see a bunch of men marrying women with high body counts, well over 10. So they are not even practicing what they preach. No, it doesn't matter. In practicality, it doesn't matter.
You make a good point. My man Marcus, What up?
¿Qué pasó, hombre?
What's going on? Let me get your thoughts on this before we get out of here.
So you asked CEO DMP asked you a question. He said, "Are y'all counting all sexual experiences or just penetration?" Earlier in the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I remember.
And what did y'all say to him?
Well, for the purposes of the question, I said penetration.
Okay, so if a girl been with 100 men, that enter her. That's one
All
thing,
right?
right?
So now we're going from the objective answer to the subjective. Absolutely, it matters.
Okay. I'm gonna propose this. I'm gonna say men are virgins unless they had sex with somebody and they entered them.
Whoa.
You mean something more than just a tip, right?
No, look. As a man, you want to protect your daughters from people entering them. You kind of encourage your son to go out and explore the world. If you had a gay son, you would probably want to protect somebody from entering him. And you want to protect somebody from entering your wife. I'm gonna surmise that we are concerned with protecting people from entering into our family and our loved ones, not them entering into other people. Do y'all get what I'm saying?
Mike, end the show, and the show. No.
Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. So as men, we virgins unless somebody entered us. So it's not the same.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
What?
What?
Nobody's entered me.
You
sir.
about to
No.
start the what you think?
Talking about?
Ladies, what do y'all think?
Okay, my title is called Enter Black Dragon, but it has nothing to do with sexual relations at all. Let's put that out there. Let's put that over. Let's put that over here. Okay.
All the orifices in my body are exit only.
I'm
going to change my title to Exit or something. Exit stage left or something.
You said it was an alternative lifestyle, so I was gonna say you might be the only one that might not be a virgin because you said alternative lifestyle and into the Black Dragon.
Well, based on your logic.
That's something. So, like, all right, let me ask y'all this: if your wife said you about to date a girl and she said she had been with 10 women, none of them used the strap on, and 2 men, what would you say our body count is?
12.
12.
I heard somebody say 2.
I'd say 2. If it's just the men, 2 men.
2. And no 2 men.
It's 12
relationships.
So
you could play with a girl all day long, but if a dude walk in that room, all bets off.
All right, what if the 10 women were studs and they used the strap on?
12.
Still fake.
12. 12.
Wait.
That's my whole point.
Wait a minute.
What y'all just said was my whole point.
So what you're saying is any penetration, we're not talking about men anymore. Now we're taking men off the side. So are we saying that like even let's not go there. Let's say adult women who are experimenting with, dildos, vibrators, stuff like that. Are you saying that these women, even though they've not been with a man, they're no longer virgins because they've used something else? Is that what you're saying?
Look, if your
hymen I need to know. Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, I'm saying your hymen can be broken by
by
a dildo, right?
So they're no longer virgins, even though they're using a sex toy and they've never been with a man.
If your hymen is broken, you're no longer a virgin.
You know what? There's some rumors out there that most women are, borderline, bisexual anyway. I hear that a lot.
It ain't a borderline. It's across the border.
Yeah, man. They all, they all have some kind of encounter. So as a married man, like, I don't know if I would be as mad at my woman if she had a girlfriend,
right?
As if it was a dude busting those cheeks, because I be trying to finagle a way to get into the threesome and shit.
That's my exact point right there. That's what I came in here and said.
Hang on, Mr. Payne. If she wanted you in a threesome, she would have invited you from the beginning. So it's obvious that she didn't want you there. That's what
he still
can
his way in
but
there.
I would try to change her mind. Shit,
some of them are just trying to lead that
Mr.
part.
Payne, Mr. Payne,
yeah.
I'll give you a hint. When y'all sit down and y'all out places and stuff like that, and you see something that you like, be like, baby, I think that girl looking at you. I think she like you.
There's some game over here.
I think she like
I
you,
think that's a
baby.
good game. I think that's a good game.
Maybe.
I'm gonna
Maybe.
try
My
that
wife
No,
gonna
some
be
that, no,
like,
that could work. That definitely could
my
work.
wife gonna be
There
like, what that
there
chick
are
looking at?
places for that, for couples that like pick out who they like. There are places like especially for that. You dress your
Yeah.
best, they walk around, they like you, they say come to the back, and then they do something.
But
Couples.
anyway, all right. So how do we get on this? Marcus just throwing everything, monkey wrenches and all this shit.
Yo. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all final thoughts on this, man. The panel. Appreciate everybody's on this.
Thanks, Mike.
See y'all tomorrow on a new topic. All right. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through to the Trigger Mike Show today. We had a ball. The topic was, does body count really matter? Y'all heard. I think the panel made a good, they broke it down for y'all pretty well today, if body count matters or not. So what I want y'all to do right now, I want you to hit the like button if you have not hit it already. Does body count matter? Hit the like button. All right. Hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you have not already. If you are a subscriber of this channel, I want you to consider joining the channel and go ahead and hit that join button. Okay. What I also want you to do, if you can, go to the Lapeef Experience channel and get subscribe to that channel as well. Also, if you like the content you have here, I also have content on my own personal channel, which is Trigger Mike Show. Type that into the search bar on YouTube or go to youtube.com at sign Trigger Mike Show and subscribe to my channel. If you like this content, please do me a solid. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I'm usually doing expanding on my topics from the Lapeef Network or doing the shorts that will end up being topics on the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. So head over to my channel and to the Lapeef Experience. Show your love and share this out to people. Show your love and subscribe to both of those channels, Lapeef Experience and the Trigger Mike Show channel. We appreciate you. Tonight we have King Talk. So King Talk tonight is a big show. I will be on that show as well if you are a Trigger Mike fan. I appreciate y'all for coming through today. We made the case. Make sure you ask people and let people know. These women out here, it really doesn't matter for men. That's what the women say. They like a sexually experienced man. You just want him to be valuable. All right. But the men do care about your body count, ladies. Until next time, we're going to get more into these topics that people want to know and people want to talk about. I thank y'all for tuning in. I'm out.